There we go. Did it. Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, so I'm here to welcome you back to the Abomination Vault's Ruins of Gauntlight. For those of you who are new to our stream or to our YouTube, welcome. It is good to have you. I'm your DM Steve, and I'm joined by my fellow Dungeons & Dragons veterans, Mike, Rick, Richard, and Nina on a journey together to figure out what the hell this Pathfinder thing is all about. Say hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And we have some new technology on the screen this week, a preview of things to come, which you might be able to notice. As the players talk, their tokens animate here and kind of let you know who's the one that's speaking, which is really cool. And it's something we're looking to integrate into our whole streaming experience in the coming weeks. So thank you, Nina, for your hard work on getting that sort of set up. Now, before we begin, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to specifically 2 comments on YouTube. First, because I'm vain, my favorite comment of the week was from Chad Hale. And all he said was simply, "You guys have learned a lot." Thank you, Chad. I feel like we have. I feel like we've been doing, for the most part, pretty smooth the last few weeks. And that's, come down to because we've been playing Pathfinder for like 4 months now, right? About 4 months?
Yeah, I have no idea. How long have we been playing this game for?
Yeah, I mean...
Well, we certainly know Dying One.
We're
Yes.
really familiar with the dying condition. That's true. That is true. So I think we started our first look at it in like December, and we've been playing almost weekly since. That's cool. So thank you, Chad. I appreciate the love. Secondly, I wanted to call out David Sims on YouTube this week, who actually gave us a bit of clarity on how resurrection works in Pathfinder, because that was a topic that kind of came up when it looked like you guys might be kicking the bucket last week. Unlike 5th edition, where resurrection is tied to like a spell slot, and once you get like 3rd level spell slots, the cleric casts it and it's done. In Pathfinder, it's considered a ritual, and rituals are not normal spells. They're not things that you even have to have spell slots to do. As long as you learn the ritual and get access to it, everyone can participate in this sort of ritual to do all kinds of things. So in this case, the most low-level resurrection spell is Reincarnate, which the cost of it is 25 gold per level of the character you're trying to revive. And that's up to 10th level characters. So in that case, to resurrect somebody, it would be 50 gold and a ritual and somebody that could guide you through the process, like...
Mukta.
I'm sure the temple in town would be able to, guide you guys through that kind of stuff. But
I've done this ritual many times. Many.
Well, we're heroes now. I'm sure they'll cover the costs.
And that's always a possibility too, depending on how charming you guys are. So the only downside with Reincarnate, of course, same as 5th edition, is when you reincarnate, you go into a new body, a new random body, and you get reincarnated with a random ancestry.
Oh.
Mhm.
There's the catch.
I was
catch.
like, that's
I was
actually...
like, that's pretty easy. That's not
yeah,
bad.
it's pretty inexpensive
Nothing's
for
easy
a
in Pathfinder
resurrection.
stuff.
Right. But it's still a fairly, reachable option. Like spending 50 gold would be within your reach if push came to shove.
Right.
So hopefully we don't
pretty
actually
cool.
have to use it anytime soon, right? But in case we do, we at least we now know. So thank you.
I don't know. Every encounter we've had, somebody's almost dying.
Foreshadowing for tonight, we're going to use it. But thank you again, David, for showing us how the rituals work. That's cool. And one thing, it wasn't quite a YouTube time. I mean, it was, but like Nina called this out in the last episode. But like when I was rewatching, I realized I missed it. It's like when you get knocked unconscious by someone, we got to remember your initiative shifts to before the turn that you were knocked unconscious. So
That's true.
So last time we had Mukta going unconscious and then making death saves, and same with Nulara having to make death saves in this thing. And Nina actually called it out, and I think there was so much going on, and I was so worried for you guys, I didn't actually move you. But Steven Schrader on YouTube was kind enough to point it out, and I went back and looked. He also pointed it out on another video weeks ago. So he's been consistent with calling us out on that, and so that's definitely on me for not remembering. But
How does that work?
so when you get knocked unconscious, your initiative switches to be right before whatever turn is currently happening. So if a creature knocks you unconscious on its turn, your initiative shifts to be right before it. Yeah.
Yeah, right before whoever made you unconscious.
Got it.
Right. And if it happens on like let's say it's your turn and then you get knocked unconscious by like an opportunity attack or something, or like an AoE on somebody else's turn, then whatever the current turn is, you just move to there. It's not tied directly to the creature. It's just most likely to happen on the creature's turn when they have actions, right?
Understood.
Yeah, the good thing about that is it allows a full round of combat for you to get your allies to try to help you without just this weird thing where the monster got a turn and then you're just rolling death saves right after. So little trickier. We got to remember to do that, and it probably would have actually made a difference last week because you guys did end up making death saves and such. So, if you want to shout out on our stream or our YouTube video, like David, Chad, or Steven, please make sure to check us out on YouTube and comment your thoughts, clarifications, suggestions, violent reactions, whatever you have on the comment section down below, or right over here on our Twitch chat. We don't necessarily monitor it 100% during streams, but we kind of keep it up. But the best way to get your voice heard and to get feedback to us is on our YouTube videos. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone who did comment this week.
Thank you.
No one dies so that we don't use it.
Yeah. So now that all that's out of the way and we are good to go, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode, which is episode 9 of Abomination Vaults. Right after this introduction. See you in a minute. My stream deck didn't work again. Here we go.
The lumber town of Otari, with its storied past and a fair share of sinister secrets, has been fairly quiet in recent decades. Over the 400 years since its inception, the surrounding area has been the launching pad for many famous adventurers, and as a result, most of the ancient ruins have been fully explored, much of their mysteries already solved. But when the mysterious Gauntlight, an eerie landlocked lighthouse, begins to glow with a baleful light, the people of Otari suspect it's an ominous prelude to sinister events. The call goes out for a new band of heroes to save the day. Those heroes are Mukta,
One's path in life may shift like the sands. You have to adapt or be buried.
Halarmony Higgins,
Can I play something for you?
Nulara,
Hey, I know that it's scary, but you have to get up. Okay? Take my hand. Ugh, very good. Let's go.
Clovis,
Nature is not to be put in order. Nature is order. It is for us to put ourselves in unison with this order.
the time has come to enter the Abomination Vaults, Ruins of Gauntlight.
All right. Hope that cinematic gets you as excited for some Pathfinder as it does me. So, when we last left off, you guys basically had a very, very, very close encounter that looked like there might be some deaths, if not TPKs on the horizon. But Nulara, with that magic trident, that has so far not ever done anything except for crit. 3 for 3. Save the day.
I don't know. I feel like we just jinxed it.
Maybe. I mean, they had a good run, even if it rolls natural ones from here on out. That thing has like a legend and a story that you can pass on for generations to come.
Thank you, boss.
One other clarification that I was just thinking of, the heal spell, right? Clovis, you have the heal spell that has like 1, 2, or 3 actions, right? Then you can cast it in any of them. So the interesting thing with the heal spell is it's not, my ruling and my understanding is it's not intended for each like action to be inclusive of everything before it. So if you cast it with 1 action, it's a touch spell that heals a D8 or whatever it is, right? If you use 2 actions, it turns it into a ranged heal that does D8 plus a flat 8, I believe is what it does. And then if you do 3 actions, it does that 30-foot emanation from you. But that one doesn't get the flat D8 from the 2 action one. It's completely separate. So it's just an AoE heal for 30 feet. And it's just a D8 or however it's spelled out. So spending the 3 action version doesn't automatically get the bonuses that the 2 action version also gets.
Okay.
So we did do it right last time. Where we just did like the D8 pulse out.
Right.
And that's the way, from what I understand, that's the way it's supposed to be, and that's the way we're going to rule it going forward. However, I'm sure there might be somebody correcting me in the YouTube comments, although most people have been saying that, yes, the way we ruled it was correct last week.
Okay.
Just wanted to put that out there before you have to use it again. So, we fade in around this weird machine. You guys have popped out the like black gem that powers this necromancy table that could bore into people's, head. You spent the last hour, Mukta, like watching, listening at the door, make sure nothing comes to disturb you guys. And it's currently just past noon on Sunday, the 23rd of Farast. The day is yours. What would you guys like to do?
So how are we feeling, everyone? Mukta?
A little worse for the wear, but nothing a little bit of time won't heal, I think.
Hal, Clovis, you guys all right?
I'm okay.
Hal?
Or Mushi's a little bloodied.
I saw Hal disconnected from Foundry, so he might have having issues right now. Now I didn't double check. Did Mushi get hurt? He got hurt after your heal spell, so he didn't get that healing, right? I think he got hurt when the thing died and exploded.
Oh
and
no, he did. It was
right?
after the hill. Yep,
Yeah.
that's when he
Okay.
kind of
You can
blew
just,
up and
spend 10 minutes and feed him a good berry if you need to or something.
Yeah.
You can heal him back in full. Like, it's fine.
I'm a little spent with my resources. I hope everybody is doing okay, especially you, Mukta. Nulara, I was surprised that your shield was destroyed, but I think we're doing
you're
okay.
right.
Do we go back and get you a new shield? I think we should if we're not too far deep.
I'm not
mean,
against it.
We can have a little jaunt, have some lunch on the way outside the graveyard, and then go to the town proper and then come back. Right in
I'm
time
not
for the
against it, to
nighttime.
be honest. Yeah. And I honestly didn't think about buying an extra shield. I didn't think that it would break like right away. So
That was some
You
head,
almost
by the
broke
way.
your head.
yeah. But the thing is, and then I reach into my pockets to look at my money. I don't think I have enough to buy a new shield.
How much are new shields?
I
Yeah, how much
forgot.
was that first one that you got? Perhaps we can help you out. Since you help us
Honestly,
out.
You know what? I've always had it. And when I woke up, it was right there.
Well, I guess we go to the store and see how much they are, and we can all help pitch in.
I think that is
Oh,
a good
well,
idea.
the one that I want is really expensive.
I have did we sell the silver ring that I still have on my hand?
I
Oh
don't
no,
believe so.
please don't sell that. Oh, I have the
I'm
onyx.
asking the DM.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't
Unless
remember.
unless you
selling
went
it.
out of your way to sell it, I don't think you actually sold it.
No.
I sold that gold tooth, but that was it.
We have some things that we can sell, perhaps. I think we have. I have some gold. Maybe we find out how much it is. Maybe it's like very cheap. Maybe they just give it to you for free.
You
Yeah.
being a hero and all, they should.
So,
But
is that what we wanna
perhaps
do?
we don't. Perhaps we don't go back to that one guy that gave you the evil eye. We go to another person.
Oh, the garrison? Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So, you guys just want to backtrack. You guys only got like what 2 rooms in down here, so the plan is to just backtrack back up, right?
It's like a
think
quick
so.
trip if that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
It'd be nice to keep going, but yeah, I don't think we want to push our luck.
sure. Yeah, you guys spent a lot of resources, a lot of spell slots, and I forgot you broke your shield. That's pretty major. So yeah, so you guys kind of like come back up out of the spiral staircase, down past like the locked door, up into the first level of the Gauntlight. And you guys are just like, if you guys are cool with it, I'll just fast forward like, montage style back to town. You guys have anything you guys want to talk about on the way? There's no need to like micromanage going through the whole first level of the ruins. You guys have, for the most part, picked through it, and you can backtrack a safe way if you'd like. So
No,
and
Mike,
we're-
I want you to describe
gonna-
every single step we take.
Yeah,
I can.
No, well, we were gonna grab.
Do it.
We were gonna grab that painting or the picture up on the wall,
Oh, that's a good point. That's a
I
good
can try
reminder.
to
right?
get the other
Because
one.
that's worth. I mean, it's worth some money. You were gonna get it on the way out.
That's
It
true.
could help with the funds to pay for Nulara's shield.
Sure.
I will
Very, very true.
tap Mukta on the head. Good luck, my friend. And I'll cast guidance on him.
Mukta, go ahead and give me a crafting check to see how delicately you can remove this very worn painting.
Right. Skills.
Oh, yeah, biologist in chat is also pointing out it would be not a bad idea to get a repair kit to carry around.
I think Mukta has one.
No.
Oh no, never mind. He just has the
you-
crafting skill.
He has a skill, but not the kit, right? 13. So
Plus guidance.
It's already
yeah.
plus it.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's got the +1
Hero
for
point.
guidance.
Hero point.
I don't think so. Not for this.
So
Not
compared
yet.
compared to the previous ones, this one it's more rotten out, and it's got a little bit tougher time. And as you're trying to like carefully move it from the frame, you do kind of like do like a big tear up one of the corners, and so part of like the corner of the painting gets ripped off, but it gets taken out in a fairly intact way, and it's still going to be, fairly valuable. Maybe not as valuable as it would have been in full intact.
Was anyone able to grab the onyx? I forgot where it was, but I know it was in that room.
Right, it was on the crafting table, like it was part of the necromantic sort of
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool.
I believe Mukta got.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm not gonna. I just have
Yeah.
that silver key.
Ukta gets everything.
So yeah, we do this like montage back through. You roll up the painting. You kind of come back through the town, or back through the keep, through the 15-minute leisurely stroll back. It's still midday, so it's nice and bright. And yeah, you go ahead and return to the town of Otari. Where would you guys like to go?
Where could we sell our stuffs?
Most places will be willing to like buy stuff off you, especially like the open market. Rin, you know, is always a collector of interesting trinkets, and she would be very happy to take, you know, any sort of like interesting things you find in the keep off your hands.
The other two are with Rin, so we might as well complete the set, yeah?
I mean, if a Ren is awake now, she should be awake. I don't know.
That's true. She was asleep.
Yeah,
But I
that
think
was,
she'd want to
that
see
was
this.
hours ago. Hopefully she'll be up.
Yeah, and so you guys kind of like casually make your way towards Rin, because she's on the north side of town. She's not hard to get to. And as you approach, you can see that she is pretty much just sort of like opening her tent flaps to the sky and tying everything back, and she's definitely setting up shop. And her and Elenir are there, ready to like start their day. And she kind of sees you guys coming towards her, looking like a little roughed up, and immediately tells like Elenir to start like some tea so she can like, you know, calm your guys' nerves. And yeah, she's interested in, you know, learning about the creature that you guys fought. So is there anything you want to say to her or explain to her as she like takes the painting and evaluates it?
Actually, I do. Rin, I have a question. I'm trying to piece everything together. You've had your visions saying that once the Gauntlight is lit, that trouble's gonna come in. But when it happened back then, who opened it? Who started it? What would actually trigger the Gauntlight to open like this?
Well, as I understand it, it was Belcora herself who built the Gauntlight, and I don't know that it was ever determined its true purpose because the Rose Guard stopped her before she was able to put it to use.
So would it be safe to assume that maybe she's back?
There's like a you know, like a little smile on her face, and she says, well, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but yeah, I think so.
Huh.
But you guys were there at night, and you didn't see her spirit or anything, right? It wasn't like walking the Gauntlight like floor.
I didn't catch anything.
Okay. Well, then maybe we're wrong. I hope we're wrong. Maybe somebody else just stumbled across the place and found a way to turn it back on.
And release all these ghosts?
I mean, Rin like is a little like she kind of looks at you, say this, and is just like, well, what ghosts are you speaking of? Because we dealt with zombies. That's true.
Spirits, undead.
Have you dealt directly? I mean,
Fire.
that is true. There were
Fire.
the corpse lights that you mentioned, the spiders. But it doesn't sound like you've had like a tangible encounter with an actual ghost other than the corpse lights.
Just feel like they're so unnatural. Then again, then I look at myself.
And she says, well, unnatural doesn't always mean bad, does it? Let's not rush to judgment. Every restless
trying
spirit.
to piece things together.
Every restless spirit just has some unfinished business.
Huh. That's true.
Usually when something is left unresolved, it's hard for something to fully cross over to the other side. And she just smiles warmly at you.
It would help if that spirit knew what they were supposed to do, but I guess. Anyway, how much are we gonna get for the painting?
She offers you guys 7 gold for the painting.
Amazing. Thank you.
I can add that to your trade character sheet.
I have is this ring here that we picked up off the skeleton. Maybe we could trade it in as well. How much would you give me for this super? What would you say, Nulara? A spectral ring that's really worth silver ring. Maybe you give us a little more because we brought it back from the dead or from the dead guy.
Yeah, the lengths we had to go through to just get that ring was he almost died.
She looks at it. She's like, well, if I'm going to sell this as a curio, I'm going to need a good story to go with it. So
Oh, don't I have a story for you? We were moving in, and then I relate the story.
Yep. I'm trying to see like what this like sort of activity would be. I think it'd probably like almost like a make an impression or make a request roll.
Everything is performance for me for those things now.
Oh, I mean, is it really?
Yeah, make an impression. I can use performance to I think
Well,
it's
you know that works perfectly because she wants a good story to go with the ring, right?
yep.
So why don't you
And
go
I-
ahead and give a performance to the group?
And I strum my lute and I start talking about how we went into the first level of the lighthouse and then we fought the skeletons that were animated by the corpse lights
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so forth.
Oh yeah, go for it. How much are you embellishing here? Ooh, that's really good.
Ooh,
A lot of it.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah, because if I remember right, when you guys really got the ring, you went in, found the dead body, and then were attacked by ghosts and tucked your tails between your legs and ran for it. So I'm sure your tail sounds a lot cooler.
Was the first
Or-
time? Yes.
Yeah, the
First
first
I
time.
kind of mixed them together,
Yeah, exactly.
riding
28.
upon a scorpion.
Okay, so the ring itself is actually worth 5 silver, but with your story and this sort of impression, she's willing to go as high as 8 gold.
Wow.
Nice. Good
Very well.
storytelling there, buddy.
I will turn it in and thank you very much.
Yep, go ahead and sell that and then add 8 gold to your inventory.
I'll just delete it. Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and delete it and then add the 8 gold to your inventory. Because it went directly to you, so.
Gotcha.
Yep. So she also like motions like, you know, is there anything else from my shop that you guys might be interested before you go back? She's like, has like some potions on, she's like, you know, maybe some potions in case you guys get into more trouble, or I have this wand of healing that could maybe save you. She's got a bunch of stuff on there if you take a look, but
Window shopping really quick.
That's right.
yeah.
Any shields?
She does not sell like shields and stuff. And if you ask her about it, like maybe like Eleanor will suggest, like if you're looking for a shield, like blades for glades just around the corner, there's a smith there that specializes in like metal weaponry and adventuring gear. He does good work.
That isn't the captain of the guard who I think Mukta had some words with or some words for. Different, yeah?
Yeah, different guy. Little gruff, little rough around the edges. Spends a lot of time drinking from a bottle, but puts a lot of pride into his work. Most of the time.
Mhm. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Rin.
Sure. So if you guys want, like, you can head to the Blaze for Glades, which is just around the corner, and you can do your shield shopping there.
But before we head there, can I
Sure.
pass this key to Hal really quick?
Sure.
And say, Hal, I found this key before we, killed that worm thing down at the basement of the lighthouse. I don't know, but it looks like it's worth a lot. Maybe you can do the same thing with this smith and get more. I don't know. What do you think? And then I hand him the key.
Well, typically a key will open a door. Are you sure we don't need the key to go into the secret areas of the lighthouse?
That's true. That's fair. Sorry, I was tunneling on that shield.
I mean, let's go talk. Perhaps we can negotiate something, better terms, perhaps, for the shield you really want.
Okay.
I mean, I have this rapier. I'm sure Mukta appreciates it, and it came from the sands or his homeland or his 25 brothers and sisters. But perhaps we can sell that too, because, you know, I'm a dead aim with the sling. I'm not really needing the rapier.
Yeah, so we have this conversation right as you come up outside the shop, and the shop itself, I mean, from the outside, it looks like a very generic, fairly run down shop. Most of the walls on the outside seem to be kind of covered in old posters that have like faded and ripped over time, like probably stuck here for at least a year, if not longer, and just been like neglected and, you know, wind, rains, all blown it off. You can hear the hammering from within the shop. But yeah, as you guys kind of go into the shop, I'm assuming you're going in. You see, like in the back of the shop, there's like a large man, sleeveless, with like bulging muscles, like kind of out of his from under his clothing, and he's like sitting behind the counter. You could tell he's just kind of like has a bit of a sweat. He just was hammering something. He's taking like a bit of a break. He takes a swig from the flask, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, and stands on his feet. Welcome to Blades for Glades. I'm Carmen Rajani, the finest blacksmith from here to Absalom. You here for lumberjacking or and he kind of gives you like a look up and down, adventuring?
We're here from our adventuring. My good friend here, Nulara, with the big muscles, she needs a nice shield, a good shield, one of your best. You have it.
Oh, he's very excited to show this. So he gets up from behind the counter and kind of comes around. You can see most of the shop, at least like 80% of it, is dedicated to just like general lumberjacking. There's like all kinds of axes and hatchets and handheld ones and big ones, and you know, that's what pays the bills. But he like kind of takes you towards the back of his shop, and there's a corner kind of set up here, and you can see that like this corner is like his pride and joy. There's like right in the middle of it, there's like this sort of not a dummy, but like a display with like a full set head to toe plate mail that is like very lovingly crafted, and you can look at the fine work, and you know, Nulara can even imagine herself possibly wearing something like this someday. But you know, it takes some skill to make something this fine. And he kind of like goes, and you see like all the metal weaponry. And so Clovis, unfortunately, as you kind of look here, every single thing in the shop is like made out of metal. There's a lot of wood that goes into it, a lot of lumber and the handles, and it's got fine woodworking, but primarily like there isn't a thing that he sells that isn't touched by his forge. But anyways, he takes you past all these like weapons, and he pulls up a shield, and he kind of shows you like what looks to be like a very solid looking shield with like a faint sort of like glow to it. And how, if you were to like detect magic, you even get a sense that, yeah, there's definitely some magical stuff here in his shop. And so he shows it to you, and he says, this is what I like what we refer to in the business as a lesser sturdy shield. And he like hits it with his hand and kind of hands it over to you, Nulara. Like, if you're looking to save your hide, this is what you're gonna need.
This is surprisingly light.
It's the metal. Yeah, I spent better part of 2 months of my life working on that. On top of the culmination of years and years of the ones I made that were not nearly as good as that one. But if you're looking to save your hide, that's what you're going to need. It's only going to
It's
set you
not-
back 360 gold.
What? 360 gold. Oh.
Maybe perhaps not something so great. Maybe we only need to save a little bit of her life. Maybe something a bit less.
He like looks at you, and you see him take a little bit of like he breathes in. You see him like pull out his flask and unscrew the top and just takes a swig as he's like staring at you, and he goes. He holds his hand out for like the shield back, Nulara,
Oh.
and kind of like
Yeah,
pulls it a
maybe
little
next time.
overly forcefully. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I don't know if I want to make sure you're not wasting my time before I pull out the next item. I have like I said, one of the ones I made that maybe isn't up to quite as much craftsmanship that I can let go for 100 gold. A minor sturdy shield. And he's trying to gauge your guys' reaction to like being offered a 100 gold shield. Right.
Still a little too rich for our blood.
Perhaps you get one of the regular ones that you had before, Nulara, and an extra just in case.
He
Can,
like
maybe carry it for you.
he does kind of put in like the other shield, like he's looking at it, and then he sees it, and then it cuts to you guys, and you guys looking like broke with like your pockets hanging out, and he just shakes his head and he goes, "Well, there's a pile of shields over there," and you look, and there's like a discount pile of just like a dozen shields like stacked on top of each other. These might be more your speed. 2 gold. Or he also has tower shields, which are 10 gold, which are a little bigger.
But I feel like that looks really fancy, sir. But I feel that might slow me down. I'll go for the steel shield, and when I have more money, then I will. I'm gonna get that lesser sturdy shield.
Mm-hmm. He acts like he doesn't believe you. Like you can just see it like on his face. He's already kind of written you off as like wasting his time.
That's okay. My ego is not hurt.
You know, Nulara here is the defender of the graveyard and the library. She was destroying zombies and punching ghosts. In fact, from what I understand, she almost single-handedly saved the library from destruction the other night. Not sure if you heard.
He like kind of looks over at you and he says, "The truth has a way of being exaggerated. So tell me, what really happened that night?"
I will relay the story in detail, not embellishing.
Okay.
Well, see, the thing is, and then I imagine someone elbows me.
Like, no, let him talk. I mean, you could definitely try to aid him by making a make an impression check, but
No, I was just gonna lie outright. So.
Oh, okay. So yeah, if you want to do another make an impression on this guy to see if you can possibly warm his icy heart, because right now he definitely has a fairly negative disposition towards you guys.
And then I strum lute and start singing the story of Nulara, the brave defender of the graveyard.
Okay.
Lyrics to
Nulara starts shying away.
Everywhere you go, he just busts out the music and starts singing your praises. Yeah, he starts off as unfriendly, so okay, 15, respectable. So you got to make, so it targets, the way this works, I'm just refreshing myself. It targets the NPC's will DC, and if you can beat his will DC, then you can make him, like, improve his disposition towards you. And in this case, his will DC is 20, and then 15 is not enough to warm his heart. He still stays unfriendly towards the group.
If I took a bit of parchment or something and started fanning Nulara's hair so it seems like it's blowing and luxuriously.
No, guys, I really appreciate it, but stories aren't often enjoyable to read if the characters in them aren't challenged a little bit. Thank you for the steel shield. I'm a firm believer that success is,
Yeah.
the greatest form of an I told you so. So thank you for the
What he
steel
does say,
shield.
though, is he does say, I respect what you guys are doing. I don't want you to think I don't, but I still got bills to pay. And so if you're such great heroes, go make some cash and come spend it in my shop. That's kind of the gist that he gives you, the
I mean,
vibe.
if this, we're trying to see.
Mukta's gonna, just take a look around the place. Kind of like how he did for the Dawn Library.
Sure. Why don't you give me a perception roll?
All right.
And then did you end up buying any of the shields, Nulara?
I can't buy them, Steve. Like, there's no, the plus and minus thing isn't here. It's not letting me buy.
It should just be like you drag it from the shop to your character sheet.
And then it'll pop up and ask you how many.
Oh,
Okay. There's only one. I'll put more shields in stock since he has more. But yeah. You should be able to...
that, but
Ooh, a
maybe
26.
I'd have to pop it in. Ooh, nice.
And then don't forget, are you going to buy Mukta? Are you going to buy the crafting thing or whatever that was suggested?
Oh, the repair kit.
Yeah, is that what it's called? Repair kit?
Right.
I mean, how much for? Let's see. Does he have a repair kit?
I don't know if he has one in his shop, but he should if he doesn't. So, let's see. Is it in there? What would it be under? Probably be under consumables. I don't think it is, but I'll add it.
I checked all the shops. I didn't see a repair kit or anything like
You
that.
didn't see one
but-
anywhere. Yeah, I
I
had
may
to
have
add them all
missed it.
manually, so I might have this stuff. So I'll drag repair kit. There you go. So
Repair kit.
I put it. It's under equipment under Blades for Glades now. 2 gold for a basic, 25 gold for a superb. It is heavy. It's like a bulk for the repair kit. Which is a good point to remind you. I looked at everyone's character sheets. Not everyone has equipped their backpacks yet, like Clovis mentioned last week. If you equip your backpack, it'll reduce your bulk because once you're wearing your backpack, anything in it, the first 2 bulk gets ignored. So make sure you equip the backpack if you haven't.
And I was wrong. Our Atari Market has it. I think I was looking for crafting, not repair. So
Got it.
But what are
there's even a $25 repair kit superb.
Yeah, I think it allows you to get +1 to the repair check. So here's the thing, Mukta. You give it a once over. The locks on this place are pretty top notch. He's got like iron reinforced windows that looks like it'd be pretty hard to just slip in a window. It's not that it's not pickable. It's just he's definitely put some good amount of effort into this. But the thing that you notice as you're kind of casing the joint is it's marked with a sort of a white osprey bird sort of carving, which is the symbol for like the Thieves Guild. So this shop is sort of off limits per the code of the Thieves Guild.
Okay, so
Like
yeah,
he's associated. He's associated with the Thieves Guild in some way.
Okay.
Not that would mean like socially it's off limits, but
That's if I get caught.
right, exactly. But the Thieves Guild in town would not be happy if you were to steal from them.
Nulara, I can purchase a repair kit for you if you'd be able to hold it at least.
Oh, I would. That's much appreciated, Mukta. Thank you.
I mean, your shield is our shield, so it's better.
I'll carry it.
I will purchase a repair kit and put it into the trade character.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
There you go.
So, how many do I want? Definitely not 5. I don't have that gold.
Yeah. So, we've gotten our repair kit. We've gotten a couple of shields. We offloaded some treasures. Or anything else you guys needed to pick up while you're in town? Do you guys plan to go back to the ruins tonight, or are you guys taking a rest and calling it a day?
So as the party leaves the room, I want to take my amassed wealth that I have and buy a sturdy shield, minor sturdy shield. I have 109
What?
Wow, not bad.
gold pieces. I think so. You can look at my sheet and make sure it's correct.
Oh yeah, let me check it. So okay, so I see your total wealth on your whole character says 109 gold pieces. But
Is that all my equipment?
That's all your equipment and everything you own. If you liquidated everything, that would be what you got.
Gotcha.
If you look under the treasure section, right? You have
Yep, I see it.
8 platinum, 13 gold. So yeah, so that total wealth at the top is just, every single thing you own on you. So
Okay.
unfortunately, it would have been cool to pull that moment, but I don't think you actually have the 100 gold. Unless you want to walk out there. And
All
get
good.
Right. Okay.
Make for quite a story.
But you guys didn't sell. The other thing that you guys have is that onyx, right? That you guys can offload.
Maybe we go to Odd Stories. It's arcane in nature. Maybe Old Morley that I met the other day might be interested.
It's actually this morning, believe it or not.
That was this morning.
It feels like
you
a
know,
week ago.
When you go unconscious, time flows a little bit differently.
Oh, I can empathize with you on that one, Mukta. As long as he doesn't try and read our minds.
That I forgot about that part.
So yeah,
All
if you
right,
want,
let's
you go over to like the odd stories, right? And as you get there, you can see like all the shades are drawn. The front of the door is like locked, and you guys kind of go up front and like it looks like almost closed. So like somebody like kind of goes up and knocks on the door, and you hear from inside, it just says like "We are closed," and then you see like the blinds kind of split, and there's just like this eye that looks out of the blinds. And then like kind of like locks eyes with like you Mukta and sees everyone, and then you see like almost like a recognition, and then you hear like click click slide unlock, like a series of locks being unlocked on the door, and then the door like opens, and Morley Bent, the red-headed cap wearing wizard, is there, and he's like, "Oh no, sorry, come in, can't be too careful after last night. Who knows what other horrors will wander our streets. Come in," and he invites you in.
Always good to be cautious, as my mother said.
Yep, he's got the thick spectacles hanging on his nose. He takes his little hat off as you guys kind of come in. You can see he's balding on top, like where he like wears his hat. So he's like, so Mukta told me that you guys have been poking around the ruins. Is that correct? Was it you who awakened Belcora? And he says it in a very matter-of-fact way, not judgmental whatsoever. He just is like asking curiously.
I don't think so.
Well, it seems odd. The runes go undisturbed for mostly ignores for hundreds of years, and then the moment somebody starts poking around, suddenly the dead rise and attack our city. It can't be a coincidence.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like kind of taps his head as he looks at Nulara, like, see, she gets it.
Perhaps it is just fate that brought us to help your town at this time.
Oh, that is certainly one way to look at it. The town, right? Helping the town. Yes. He kind of like looks around. He says, well, while you're busy helping the town, I was wondering if maybe we might be able to help each other. As I mentioned to your friend Mukta earlier, I have a fondness of rare tomes and books that I've been wanting to add to my collection. If you happen to come across any of these books while you're in the ruins, like perhaps I can convince you to keep an eye out, and I can definitely make it worth your time by paying you handsomely. You can see he's like very like socially inept, but he's trying to like almost ask you guys to like look for books for him, basically. I can provide you with my want list. I'll pay handsomely if further excavation if you can find any of these titles.
I look to the group. It could help pay for equipment such as the shield.
Oh, that the really good shield.
I know
Yeah,
that's
I do
true.
remember the one room we did see books, so
Oh,
maybe
very
we should
true.
get the list.
I think that would be not a bad arrangement.
So he says, "Oh, great. 1 second, I'll just get that list for you." And then he goes and he picks up like pulls out. He goes to his desk and he's like, here it is. And he starts like pushing papers, pulls out like a scroll and like pushes everything off his desk into the drawer and like closes it. And then he's like, "It's around here somewhere. Just 1 second." He finds like a box that he kind of like puts on his desk. And then it's like the box is a little bigger than the scroll, and you watch as he kind of like feeds the scroll into the edge of the box and closes it. He takes a blank scroll, rolls it like around like this thin rod, and like inserts it above the box. And you guys are all watching this like really weird wizard do his thing. He starts muttering an incantation, and then you hear like a large scraping sound, almost like quill on parchment. And you watch as this blank scroll like kind of unrolls off this rod, and you can see like words just appearing like on the scroll. And he's essentially photocopying his want list while you guys wait. And he kind of comes back and he's like, "All right, so here's how it works." And in game terms, this is how it works. He's basically looking for certain books, and he's willing to pay 5 gold for every bulk of book you find, right? So there's like a list of books you'll find in certain rooms in the Gauntlight. Will have the books he's looking for. So if you guys take the time to search the books, cross-reference it against his list, you can find like X number of bulk of books at a time. And then you bring it back to him, and he pays 5 gold for every bulk you bring back that he wants. It's a little confusing, but you know, instead of saying here's like 500 titles, it just says he wants these amount of bulk in book, and you got to find them. But 5 gold per bulk, nothing to sneeze at. And if you can bring back a total of 12 bulk, then you complete his side quest and actually earn 30 experience. But he'll pay as much as you can bring back.
We'll see what we can do.
Yep. And as he's printing out your list in the background, he says, "Oh, and why this is going, maybe Nulara, right? Mukta said you might be interested in let me get into that noodle of yours. Just so I can see where the spider, like what happened with the spider."
I'm interested.
Well, I offered it to him, but he said you were the one that was up close and personal with the thing, and it would definitely be you'd be the one I should speak to about it. And he like smiles, but he like looks back and forth between you and Mukta, like kind of sensing a bit of the tension here.
How about not right now? I feel that I don't have enough that would satisfy your curiosity. We're going deeper into the dungeon, so maybe when we come back.
Maybe I'm not explaining myself. You know, we were discussing, me and Mukta, like where the spider came from, like what was happening with the light, like what was it doing? And I was looking at the corpse, and it was very, very interesting. It's definitely not from this region or anywhere native to this region. So where did it come from? It just appeared? And I was just hoping to like just get a glimpse into like a minute of your life, like that minute when it spawned, so I can just confirm my suspicions of what happened.
Am I taller than him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna bend down a little bit and look him in the eye.
Uh-huh.
As long as you promise that it's only a minute. If you go anywhere else past that, I'm gonna hit you. Quietly, I say.
Make an intimidation check.
It's my privacy, sir.
There's like a gulp.
Intimidation. 10.
Okay. Not as like he does. It's enough to shake him, but not enough to like really like completely like stop him from being like this, like pressing too hard. So he kind of like misses your. I think he just entirely like goes over his head that you're actually threatening him, and he's like, "Oh, of course, no, don't worry. It's just let me show you." And he's like, "I have it around here somewhere," and he's like on his desk again with the like laser printer copying his thing, and he just pulls out like a potion. Right, it's like a little potion he has, and he hands it over. He says, "This is how it works. This is a potion which is known as a there's a name for it's called a potion of shared memories. So all you have to do is take this and think really hard about that moment, everything you saw, everything you felt, the moment the spider appeared, the Scalathrax." And that will capture that minute into the potion, and then when I drink it, it'll be like my own memory from that point. No, if we're gonna do business together, you should trust me. And he like holds out the potion.
Trust isn't earned just by asking. Whatever information you glean from this thing that we're gonna do, I hope you share it. Because we're also trying to figure things out.
Agreeable.
And 3 gold.
Deal.
Alright. I gulp it down.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you gulp it down. You like take the lid off. Does it? Okay. I mean, the way he described the potion work is not at all how you're doing it. So, like, does anyone want to stop Nulara, or do you guys just want to let her like gulp it down? He starts doing. He's like, what? You can see like he wants to say something right as you like put it to your lips.
Just
No. Remember, you have to hold it to your forehead and concentrate on that minute.
All right, here. Spider.
He like you see like he makes eye contacts with Clovis for just a second, and then he just kind of gives like a rolling of the eyes and like kind of like a oh my god, can you believe this one kind of thing, and like you are kind of confused as to why he picked you out of the crowd, Clovis.
I just give him a little smile.
Mm-hmm. So you hold the potion to your forehead, and what do you just concentrate on? I mean, you can give him any minute of your history that you want. Whatever you concentrate is what he will experience when he drinks it.
I give him the minute. That entire battle was a minute, but I'll focus on the light and how there was a moment when on the corner of my eye I saw Mukta hiding behind the trees, and then Halarmony and I followed suit because the big glowing light was heading towards us. And then I look to my right, and then I see Clovis right in front of the big spider that just came out of nowhere, and how Clovis was running away, and then we started fighting the spider, and the poison that was coming out of the spider, and how it hit everyone. Well, not everyone, like Clovis and I. And then how it died.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, from when it spawned to when it died, it was definitely less than a minute, right? That whole thing. It's probably about a minute of memories. So you concentrate, and when you like open your eyes, you can see that the inside of this potion bottle is glowing, and there's like little strands of like silvery glow just pulsing like in the potion.
It's like Dumbledore.
A little bit, yeah. And you can see him like almost like really excitedly like waiting for it, and he like holds out his hand like for it.
3 gold.
Oh, right. Sorry. 1 second. And back to his desk, and he's tearing through all the stuff, and he pulls out like 3 gold pieces from like a little pouch, which, you know, Mukta notices for sure is like on the bottom right hand drawer or shelf, just like instantly remembering where the gold came from. Pulls out that gold and comes over and hands you like 3 pretty shiny gold coins for
Pleasure.
the potion.
I give the potion to him.
And then at this point, like the printer is like done in the back, and then he goes over and he like rips it off, and that like dot matrix printer sound like stops. Like he pulls it and he hands you guys a long scroll with like probably 100 to 200 book titles on it. And so he just tells you, like, if you see anything off this list down there, just bring it to me, please. And yeah, you see him like almost like looking at the potion, and then he says, if that'll do, then I will bid you good day and good luck. And he kind of like shoos you towards the door. And I'll let you know if I learn anything. Yes?
Please, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. So yeah, you get ushered like out the door. He's like, thanks. Like he pushes you out, locks the door. You hear click, click, slide. Like the door just gets locked like crazy behind him. And yeah, go ahead and add 3 gold to your inventory, Nulara.
Thank you.
And then as you kind of get pushed out, there's like this young woman that's kind of walking by at this point. And then she almost like stops and like looks down at her like clipboard she's holding and looks up at you guys and looks down at her clipboard, and she says, "There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you."
I look to everyone else in the group.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to be like looking at any one of you in particular. She looks like she's addressing you guys almost like as a group. She's like young. She looks like she's maybe like 16 years old. It's like, oh, my name is Doriana, and she gives you like a slight bow. And she's saying, Mayor Osev Menhems requests your presence.
Us?
You, yeah, the heroes. You are, oh, maybe I should just double check. You guys, the 4 of you are the ones who saved Otari, did you not? Stop the uprising, the undead uprising, slayed the Scalathrax.
Yep, that is right. It was us. Nulara here was punching these zombies and these fighters. Mukta, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, go ahead and pull Mukta to the side. What do you say?
I need 6 gold.
I only have, let me see. Why do I have 4 gold? It should have taken out. Do I have the repair kit?
I think I should have only have 4 gold. I mean 2 gold, because 2 gold was for the repair kit.
Okay. No worries.
Here, take. I give him 2 gold.
Yeah, I see 4 gold. For some reason, all your gold's like in your backpack. I don't know, that got moved over. It's weird.
No, you can't find it. He's hiding it. Don't forget, we still have 7 gold in our trade character that we haven't split up yet, too. So, kind of community gold sitting there.
That's true. There's 7 gold sitting there from the
Maybe
payment.
because it's in my backpack. That's why. Huh. Weird.
So as they're doing that, like Doriana's addressing like Nulara and Clovis, and she just says like, the mayor, he's finishing up a meeting at the Giant's Wheel. If you could please like come with me. And she says it in a questioning manner, not like a demanding manner. Just like, please come with me, like with a question mark.
So where are we going? Are we going to the giant well? To the logging
yes.
area?
The mayor is finishing his meeting there. We should be able to catch him at the tail end of it if we hurry.
I get this slight little.
I'm starting to wish we had stayed in the dungeon.
There's a lot of experience if you just murder all these people.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so as she's saying this, she kind of starts like walking and like beckoning you to follow her. Do you guys follow her, or do you just ignore her? Because like, there's no one with a gun to you, there's no one forcing you, but she's asking you to go see the mayor. So I'll leave it to you guys if you want to.
I say we go, guys. Let's go.
All right. Would you guys be opposed to seeing? Where's Hal and Mukta?
And we'll come walking back around the corner.
What? They're inviting she's inviting us to see the mayor. Apparently, he's looking for us.
Clovis is
Of
already
course.
walking off with Doriana.
Yeah, I'm not waiting, so yeah, I'm already up there with her
Oh,
going.
he's right
like,
there with
I'm
Clovis.
a little
Let us go
excited
see
right
what
now.
they have to say.
Okay.
Yep. So you kind of like follow her like up. The Giant's Wheel is like you got to go up out the north side of the town across a bridge, and then there's like a long road that kind of like curves on the other upper end, so you're overlooking the town. Yeah, like over that way, and you kind of approach, and as you see, there's like a large mansion on top of the hill, which she is very happy to point out, like that's where the mayor's family lives. And there's like a big protective fence kind of around it, so you can see it off in the distance. Definitely has like a bunch of guards like kind of posted. And then just up the river, there's like the small river, and there's a giant windmill here with like the water wheel that's like spinning. And from inside, you can just hear the sound of like blades cutting wood. Even as you approach, it gets very loud out here. And Doriana has to like speak up to kind of give you the tour. And you can see like outside of the shop, you can see the mayor, the same one that saw you guys the night before, except for he's dressed in his more like regal mayor-like clothing, and he's having a conversation with a pretty like tough-looking man, and that Doriana yells and tells you like that's Clorte. He runs the mill, and it looks like they're just kind of finishing up their meeting, and you can hear as you get close. So. You hear the mayor, and he says, right, well, oh, here come the heroes now. I'll see you this wheel day. And he kind of like hustles over towards you guys. And the mayor is making his way over to you guys. So what are you guys doing? You're outside the Giant's Wheel. The big like wheel like pushes the water pushes the wheel, and inside you can hear what sounds like saw blades spinning. That's cutting wood consistently.
Do you bow? Should we bow? I bow.
And she's like, no, we don't do that here.
Oh, okay. I don't.
So the mayor kind of comes over to you guys, and he walks right up to like Doriana, and he says, "Oh, thank you, my dear," and he gives her like a kiss on the forehead. And then he kind of turns and looks at you and says, "I take it my daughter wasn't too forceful with you?" And she's like, "Oh,
No,
Dad."
of course not.
"Oh, Dad," she says playfully before turning back around. And he's like, "She's still learning the finer points of politics. Anyways, I'll cut to the chase. We're all busy people, aren't we? The town is, how do you say it, on edge, to put it mildly. After last night, people are going to need a distraction to put them at ease. And there's no better distraction than a party. I know it sounds a little unorthodox, but hear me out. We, the town, will host a feast in your honor. Put you front and center. Let the town know that you're here to protect them. It'll raise spirits." You're already yelling "I'm in" before he even gets to the finishing pitch.
It's a hero's
It's like,
feast.
great, and he kind of comes over and like puts his hand out to like shake your hand. Halarmony, is that? Do I have that right?
That is correct. Halarmony from Diobel. My parents are in Absalom. One of the lords there hired them to train their students, their children in music, and run some of the musical academy. Yes, that is me.
I think I swear I've heard of you. We need to catch up, and maybe we might be related in some way. Have you met my daughter? And he's like telling you more about like his daughter and stuff. And then it like turns around like, the rest of you, can I count on your attendance as well?
Definitely.
I
am
can't
in.
say no.
Hal is going then, of course.
Same
And-
here.
He kind of comes over towards you, Clovis, and he looks you up and down. He's like, "I don't believe we've met, and I don't think I've gotten your name, good sir." And he holds his hand out to Clovis.
My name is Clovis. I shake his hand.
Okay. He has like a really like tight grip. And he's like, what's this thing behind you?
Oh, this is my familiar.
Does
His name is Mushi.
Mushi. Well, I'll tell you what, Clovis, make sure Mushi does not get anywhere near that sawmill, okay? Disastrous things could happen.
I will keep him far away.
Perfect. And he like clasps his hand like on your shoulder and it gives you like a pat, like, good man, good man. So
It would be nice to maybe sometime you have some time to give me a tour of your mill.
I have time. Are you, I mean, I'm a little busy right now, but how about if you come back tonight at the end of the workday, I should be able to give you the tour.
Perfect.
It's better to go in when they're not working, you know, the midday. This is like some of the busiest time of the day. So yeah, let's set something on the books. Doriana, can you put something on the books for tonight? And she's like, sure, Dad, sure. And she like starts penciling in like tour of, you know, the mill, and you can like see her, like she just has like the mayor's like time like booked out like crazy. And you get a glance at it, Hal, because you're like chatting with her. It looks like he's doing like a lot of like meet and greet with all the prominent people in town, just going around and trying to boost morale as best he can. And so he's like, so wheel day, don't forget. Great. Oh, make sure you wear something nice. And that's all he says as he kind of walks off. So
okay,
as far as
time for some
calendars,
shopping.
yeah. As far as like calendars go, I'll double check. But wheel day is like essentially Wednesday, and Sunday is essentially Sunday. So it's Sunday afternoon, and the party's Wednesday night. So like 3 days away.
Okay.
Okay.
So you got some time to shop, prepare, adventure.
And
It's not like
the people that what's her name?
Oh yeah, the Yamara, Yamara, I think her name is. She asked you guys to rescue her people that are like stuck somewhere on the second level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got some time before the party, but that is something that's on the books now for you guys to have your own heroes feast.
Nice.
So
We definitely need to go. It's been a while since I got some new digs. I need to freshen up. Maybe the color of the young lady's eyes. Have somebody make something. What about you three?
I plan on going. I don't. Maybe I might go to the market and just buy the cleanest thing that I could find. It's been a while.
What's wrong with the robes we're wearing now?
I've never. This is pretty much all I've ever worn in my life.
Yeah, same here.
Hal will wrinkle his nose a bit. I will set you straight. I have got it covered for us.
Perfect.
Perhaps we go shopping now and take a look around. Perhaps you pick out something you like. That we bookmark it and note it and say we need to pick this up first thing Wednesday morning or Tuesday night before we head in. Are we going back to the lighthouse tonight?
Mukta, would you be comfortable going to the house tonight? You're still pretty wounded.
I mean, if everybody's going, I don't want to miss a party, but if you think I should rest, I don't mind. Either way.
It might take us a little while to find exactly what we want to wear on Wednesday. I don't want you to miss that party for this other party.
True.
So this is how the days go in the week. There's 7 days in the week, just like ours. I took forever to find this, but anyway, it goes Moon Day, Toil Day, Wheel Day, Oath Day, Fire Day, Star Day, and then Sunday. I'll put those so you guys can have.
I mean, today is Sunday.
Today is
Wheel Day. Wheel Day is a little bit off. Perhaps, we take the night off, and we go pick out something we want to wear.
Yeah. I mean, I'd also like to get to know you guys a little bit better. We've been dying and hitting things and fighting things together, but there's not much of you all that I know, really. I'd love to know more if you let me.
She is looking at you, Mukta.
If that's what we want to do, then I wouldn't mind the rest.
But first, we go to the market, see what they have.
Yep.
DM, is there other places other than the market that sell like nice clothes?
There isn't like a named NPC on the books, but I am 100% sure there's like a custom tailor here in town we can make happen. In fact, that kind of takes us to our, well, first of all, I want to take our break now. We can kind of come back from the break and do the tailor shopping and stuff. But 1 second, where's my? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is a good transition for me. So before we go to break, we're really, really close to hitting our follower goal. So if you check our follower goal up there, right now it says 47 out of 50. We're 3 followers short of hitting our 50 follower goal, which we set, a few months ago, and we're getting there. So that's really cool. So go to Twitch right now if you haven't already. Click follow to help us out. Twitch.tv/DMSteve. Now, here's what we're doing. We're going to spice it up a bit. If our follower goal is met, we're going to do a drawing, and we're going to have that winner be the inspiration for the next NPC we need in our game, which sounds like it just so happens to be a tailor that we are in need of because it doesn't exist. So be one of our lucky followers. Go follow. Once we hit the 50, we're going to go ahead and post a contest, details forthcoming, and that is a chance for you to become the tailor in our story. Just a little fun gift to you guys. You guys' support is very appreciated here, and it keeps us going. So we're hoping as we continue to progress, we're able to show, you guys our support back to you and do giveaways, chat emotes, subscriber things to let you guys interact in our chat. So anyways, if you haven't already, please go follow us. Anyways, I think that's going to take us to our break. So it's 8:20. Let's take a 10-minute break and come back at 8:30, and then we can figure out this tailor situation and shopping and what we want to do for the rest of tonight's session. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Abomination Vaults. Let's see, is it going to work? No, it's not. I got to click it manually. All right, be right back. And we're back from break. I think we when we last ended the session, or sorry, not the session, but for a break, we were kind of going off to shop for, I presume, nice clothes for the party that's in a few days, which is puts us very squarely in Hall Harmony's wheelhouse. So he's kind of taken the lead and escorting the group towards the town. So I think it's funny because you find like a custom tailor, and much like the odd stories, there's like this sort of like close, go away, not open to the public kind of thing. But upon seeing you guys, it's a similar story where the tailor like opens the door. But when the door opens, you can see the tailor. We just constantly get this shot. Every time we see a camera shot of you guys talking to the tailor's just out of focus and just off screen. You get like a bit of a shoulder, but you can't see what they look like or even hear what their voice sounds like because we won't know until we get our 50th follower and we get to figure out what this tailor looks like or what their name is. So it's a little bit like watching like Charlie Brown with the parents are like off the top of the screen, like wah wah wah.
Wah, 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 wah,
Exactly. So all we hear is your half of the conversation. So, what would you like to get done?
Well, I would like to get something in the gold and blue. I'm not sure about you, Nulara. What about you, Mukta? And I wrinkle my nose at Clovis a little bit. I'm sure we could find something nice and green for you.
It is the exact color I was thinking, so I appreciate if you help me find something.
We are going to be visiting the mayor on Wednesday for a party as guests of honor, and we need something really nice. Well, something decently nice. So we don't look like we look. So it doesn't look like we go into dungeons on the regular.
Understood. Or want. You know, like understood. Yeah. Now, are you interested in renting or buying? We do have a sort of rental system here where you can, you know, have something not custom made, but at least pick something off the rack and we can alter it to your size and shape a bit. Then you can
I'm
wear
not sure
very
I want
fancy
to
clothes.
take a really fancy clothes into the depths of these dungeons and get them the worm gut juice and guts all over them.
That's
Perhaps we should get something to our fitting, and we can always come back here and wear them to other parties and add a layer here and there.
okay. So if you look at like the Otari market, it has kind of the clothing prices just to give you an idea what you're looking at. So like ordinary clothing, just like a normal outfit, probably really nice compared to what Clovis was wearing, costs 1 silver.
Poor Clovis.
I'm cool with it.
Fine clothing, which is what you would wear, like, you know, to like a fancy dinner party or something, like kind of probably what you're looking at getting is 2 gold an outfit. And then if you want to go the next tier up, it's like high fashion fine. That's like what you'd see royalty wearing and such. And those run 55 gold with like imported silks and custom embroidery and stuff like that.
That is a complete waste of money.
So you could probably use the fine gold as like a baseline, and if you want to like customize it to be even fancier, you could probably fall in that range somewhere, you know.
I do not think we want to overshadow Zimer and his beautiful daughter. Perhaps we just get something between decent clothing and nice clothing. Say something around 4 gold for all of us, 1 gold apiece. I will take care of it, no worries.
Oh, I can give a gold.
Nope. You need to save that for the shield. You keep me alive.
So you're looking at like a 1 gold outfit, you said? Like
yeah,
a notch below like fine clothing. It'd basically be like probably looking at like last season's fashion almost, you know, like stuff that didn't sell last season, but it's still pretty nice. It's just you're gonna be like those that are really high fashion will like look down their nose at you, but the people below you will think it's really nice, right? It's a good
we are
medium.
a party of sea people. We say sea people, so we should be somewhat in lines with sea people, but looking a little better. We don't want to. I mean, at least you, Nulara. We don't want you over, shadowing the people who are putting on the party. And we have to look at like we're, going to places and doing things because we are going places and doing things.
So there's this little montage of like the tailor getting out the tape, and they have like the assistants with them and like holding you guys out, like T-posing and measuring your inseam and your height and like, your waist and stuff like that. But like they ask for
You're getting too close.
Yeah, you're wearing like armor, so they ask for you have to like take your armor off just so they can even measure you. So there's like a little cut of like Nulara, like, being like, what do you say that? You say you're getting a little too close and like kind of like resist or what?
No, I just jump a little bit and say, what are you doing?
Oh, we need to get your measurements to make sure the clothes fit.
You can't do, but is this normal, Hal?
Of course, they need to make sure it looks good on you. When you walk down, you strut between all the people, waving your little wave. Of course.
Watch the tail, buddy. Watch the tail.
Yeah, the camera pans over to Mukta. What does that look like when they're trying to like measure you? Like I think they're like kind of not sure. They're like asking like, do you want it like on all fours or are you on twos? Like, what do you do with the tail? Like one of them's measuring the length of your tail to like, it's just, I guess, decorate. I don't know. Mukta is, yeah.
I mean, I'll be standing on. I won't be on all fours this time, but
right. Do you tell them to make sure to tailor it so that it can like accommodate like running on all fours though, or do you want to like be proper so like walking on 2 legs?
Hal, how much? I lean over to Hal. How much is this going to cost? I gave you the rest of my gold.
Oh, don't worry. I will. Why? I don't recall you giving me the gold. I never took it from you, but don't worry about the outfit. I'll take care of it. That ring paid for it twice over.
And the camera from this point pans back away from you two to like Clovis, and you see like one of them is like holding their nose as they're trying to like measure Clovis, and like there's just like this waft of like stench baked into your clothes by now. Clovis probably helps mask you in the forest. But like the camera is showing them measuring you, all of that stuff, right? And then the camera like tilts down, and you can watch as like one of the like this little kid is actually measuring Mushi as well.
Nice.
Oh, that's so cute.
We may need to take a some type of bath or shower before.
They said, well, we could always just, try washing your clothes, maybe, sir?
Okay.
What does Clovis normally wear, anyways? Because we're making fun of him, but like, what does Clovis wear in his like, what is his outfit? He has one outfit, I assume. So what is it?
That is a good question.
Maybe as they're like, it's. We thought it was an outfit this whole time. It was just a layer of caked on mud.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It gets washed off, and like some animal skin, maybe. Okay, so yeah, there's this whole montage of you guys getting your outfits tailored. Does anyone have like? Do you guys want to describe what to the tailor, like what you want it to look like? If you guys have something in mind, I know Nulara does.
Of course.
Not finished.
It's going to be blue, tops and bottoms. The blue kind of lighter, almost the same color of my eyes. And it's going to have gold trim around it. It's going to have a 3/4 length coat. Well, not really a coat. I see those guys when they do the orchestras, and then they get things ready to the length of the tails on their coat like that, and then kind of a longer cloak over it, and some nice shoes, obviously better than these, covered in worm guts. That's how I would like.
So like you describe like this grand sort of like plan for the outfit you have, and they're like nodding along with you. And one of them like leans over to the other one and is just like, does he know he only paid 1 gold? Don't worry about it. We'll just pull some old. We have a bunch of stuff in the back. We can make it work. We'll just improvise. And then they like nod at each other and go back, and you just go back to you like giving this grand plan for your outfit.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Beaming all the while.
Mukta, I want white robe with some beige sides, brown trim, with a white hood with beige. And if no one can overhear, Mukta's pretty much just describing the exact outfit that he's wearing because he doesn't really know what he should be telling his people.
Like, oh wow, Mukta, you really know what you want. I don't even know about these trips and stuff.
There's that moment between the two tailors, like looking at each other, like, right. I know just what you want, sir. It's like the same thing you're wearing.
Mukta sees nothing wrong with this outfit, so
It'd just be cleaner, a newer, nicer, cleaner version, right? And then like there's a little kid that like pulls at your like the bottom of your mud-soaked cloak, Clovis. So hopefully it's mud. And you look down, and then the little kid's like looking up at you and like, what should I? Mom said I can dress this thing. So what should I make?
Make him just a little green robe. The little hood on it for him, please.
I can do that. And like you watch as the little kid starts sketching out like a little tiny robe size thing and like shows you a drawing. And I mean, it's a little kid, but you can see it looks like a picture of Mushi kind of wearing like a cloak like over the top of his head with like the sleeves and the little branches kind of coming off the end of the sleeves like this.
Perfect. Very nice. I like it.
And then runs off and starts, making preparations to make that. Okay. So you guys burn about like, an hour or so, like getting fitted and ready for the tailor. And then what next? You guys overall, right? Like I think the plan is to like long rest, or not, they don't call it long rest, they call it take a rest and make your daily preparations. And the plan is not to go back to the ruins until you get a chance to get all your resources back, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be smart.
So I think we crossfade from the tailor kind of shop to probably sitting back at the Rowdy Rockfish, right? There's a big roaring like fire in the hearth, some music filling the air, presumably Hal probably like filling it because there's no music unless Hal's playing. And it's a chance for you guys to sort of like sit around with each other and I guess talk, reflect, figure out your next step. What does that scene look like?
Now would this be the time? When do I have my appointment with the mayor?
We can do that first. I think that makes sense because it was like at the end of the day before night.
Yeah, I mean, or you can just fast forward and just kind of go through it.
No, I mean,
I just want to.
It'd be like a little. It's part of the montage, right? So we get like a scene of like Clovis. So like, it's time for Clovis to have this meeting. Are you going alone, Clovis, or are you inviting everyone else?
Yeah, I'll invite, whoever wants to go, or they don't have to. Anybody who's interested in seeing the mill.
I'll go with you, Clovis.
Alrighty.
Nulara goes. Mukta, Hal.
Music
Yeah.
man.
Make a group
Want
trip.
to come see what? You guys want to come see what makes this town?
Sure, of course. Is the young lady going to be there? I mean, I will go with you.
She lives there, so maybe we might get lucky, or you might get lucky. Sorry.
So you guys kind of like leave the tailor, leave the Rowdy Rockfish, and there's like the mayor is like kind of like waiting for you, like outside of the Giant's Wheel. So he like his house is like off in the distance. Much to your like dismay, like Doriana's not with him. It's just like the mayor, and he's dressed less formally than he was earlier, more like relaxed wear, and he like very enthusiastically shakes each one of your hands one by one. Just says like, if you guys need anything we can do to like help out, let us know. You look like he's about to say something, and he does. You can like see him like pause a little too long, and then stops and just like puts on the smiley face and says like come this way. Let's go introduce you to Clorte. And so Clorte is like this pretty buff dude. He's got a scar like down the side of his face. You could tell he's got muscles, but over the muscles, he's got like a layer of like fat, like he's let himself go. And what the mayor says is like, Clorte used to be a famous gladiator. Do any of you ever follow the any of the battle circuits? About 20 years ago, he was known as the Lumberjacker. He used to fight with 2 hatchets, the whole thing. No? That's okay. He's famous in certain circles.
I've never heard of him.
Anyways, retired. We trust him to keep things running smoothly here. He like says, safety first, and there's like he hands you all like almost like headphones and like a pair of like glasses, like visors, to put over your face. It says, there'll be shards everywhere. You don't want to risk losing an eye like Clorte did. And then they kind of bring you into the mill, and you can see once you get inside, it's actually like a pretty interesting marvel of like technology. So you see outside of the mill where the wheel turns, and then in the middle of this room, the movement of that wheel outside actually does two things. One, it spins like this giant blade that is probably a good 10 plus feet tall. And on one side of the room, you see like a little like water trough where like there's just giant trees like kind of backed up. And the men sort of like use these like hooks and take 4 men to pick up a log, bring it over to the table, and they kind of like push it, very like guide it across the blade, and the blade like splits the wood like right in half. And then they will like kind of take it back and run it through and cut it down into these smaller pieces. And as they're doing so, all you hear is like, like it's loud and you can't even have much of a conversation. The mayor doesn't even try to talk. He just lets you guys kind of watch what's going on. And when they're done, they sort of pick up these like large pieces of wood, and there is like a conveyor belt on the other end of the workshop. And part of the wheel that turns actually spins this like sort of like leather strip of conveyor belt. And they put the wood like on the conveyor belt, and it gets carried off out of the side of the shop. And as you like eyes look past like the like flaps as it pushes, you can see that this conveyor belt takes it all the way across to the edge of the cliff, where there's like another smaller building sort of at the end. And it's this sort of like constant cutting, shaping, and this is what gives the town of Otari its like primary resource and jobs and money, is the invention of this wheel. It's unlike anything you guys have ever seen in your time. Even in Absalom, who's pretty advanced, Al, like this is pretty up there. And so the mayor kind of shows you and watches you guys for a bit, and then brings you back outside where it's a little quieter, and is able to like kind of like say, so what do you think? Pretty exciting, right? It's what allows us to kind of pull ourselves up and thrive and be the #1 exporter in the region of lumber, taken all over the world and used to build things.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. We have 3, we work it around the clock. There's 3 lumber families in this town. We're all share one resource. We know there's enough to go around. Occasionally maybe we like to flex our muscles a bit, and I will say that being the mayor kind of helps win some of those arguments sometimes. And he smiles. But I try to keep my private life and my public service completely separate from each other as much as I can.
How are you able to attain this technology? I don't think I've ever seen anything like it.
Oh, just some good old ingenuity.
By you?
Oh, my ancestors. I don't know if you've heard, but as the mayor of this town, my name goes back all the way to the Rose Guard, in fact.
The Rose Guard that defeated Belcora?
That's right. That was my great grandfather.
Did you perhaps have maybe some, stories or things that were passed on in your family that you could share with us about the last time the Rose Guard was?
I take it back.
Fighting
It
at the lighthouse.
was actually his grandmother. The Menhems was her name was Asaphna. I never said it out loud. Asaphna Menhem. And he's like, well, if you're really interested, you could always stop by the museum.
Is that the same as the library?
Oh, no, the museum. And he like motions back behind him at like his house. like right off in the distance. And he's like, that house is much bigger than we need. So we've converted the whole West Wing into a museum on the history of this town.
I think that is a good second half of it today.
I'm
we
sure
get
there's something
a
that your
guide or an
grandma-
escort? I'm sorry, Nulara.
No, I'm sure there's something that your grandmother told you that's not in that museum.
Well, I still have her holy symbol. Like, I never actually got to meet them face to face. That was 500 years ago, things have changed quite a bit in those 500 years. But I can tell you the legend, the stories. The fact that the town was named after their really close friend who gave his life defeating Belcora.
He owned the cooperative blade, yeah?
You talking about, he kind of wrinkled his nose. He says you're talking about Blades for Glades?
No, the cooperative blade, the blade that's in the library. By the way, the lady in there says that it's safe.
Yes, thank you. She means well, but she doesn't have a lot of the social skills that you might need in such a delicate situation as we find ourselves in. That's why I'm mayor, and she's just, a cleric. But no. The cooperative blade is actually mine, yes. My family retrieved it, about 20, 30 years ago. Been missing until we were lucky enough to get our hands on it. In fact, it's kind of my lucky charm. It's kind of the town's lucky charm, but partly why everyone votes for me in the elections. Because I control the blade and I can give the town good fortune.
I'm sorry, you control the blade?
It's my property. I allow it to be on display at the library to kind of boost town's morale, but the blade is mine.
Like it has powers?
We've never really... If anyone asks, he leans in quietly, right? If anyone asks, yes, the blade has powers. But not the kind of powers that maybe actually bring good luck. It doesn't bend reality to our whims. It's just a finely made sword. Carried by one of the Rose Guard long ago.
Sure, a placebo effect.
Yeah.
And this person was your grandmother?
Oh, no. Sorry. There's a little bit of confusion. My grandmother was named Esafina Menhems, and she was the healer. So she didn't care. She was like the cleric. She didn't really carry the blade. This blade belonged to Vol Rojani, the fighter of the group, like the one who wielded the big blades, carried the weaponry, got him out of some tight jams. But no. This blade does not belong to me by birthright. It just belongs. Yeah, it belongs to me because I helped fund its recovery. Yes, indeed.
This Johnny sounds like you, Nulara. Saving the group from much worse. Perhaps, you can, once we're done here, or at least everything is taken care of, maybe they take your blade and put it in the museum or at the library.
I could take Boss Scragg's trident.
The trident.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. He does, say, yeah, I would be more than happy to accommodate such a request if you would be interested in handing it over. We could put it on display. The trident that saved Otari. Does it have a cool name?
Boss Scragg's trident.
Might need to workshop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Nulara, it should be something like, the Night Wish of Nulara, or something like that has your name on it,
I like
as opposed to the Ghost Puncher blade or trident, not so much.
You see Nulara kind of sinking into herself. She's getting shy. No,
are you-
there's so many things about this Gauntlight that's just it's so many missing pieces, and it's very hard to find information about it. It feels like every time we ask specifics, we just keep getting passed to someone else or somewhere else, and those people or those places aren't really giving us any answers. We're
Well-
being asked to go to this to whatever's underneath this Gauntlight, and right now there's this expectation that we'll save Atari, but at the same time we don't really know who's behind it. Would you have an idea, or is there anything from the stories that you've heard since you've lived here for so long that would give us an idea on what might be causing this? Because it's so weird.
It is weird. You know, people are convinced that Bakura has returned. I don't want to believe that. It would make my life much easier if that wasn't true. But in the back of my mind, hearing those stories about how my grandmother helped defeat her, maybe she is back. Maybe she was never defeated in the first place.
So is it true that you have not seen zombies, ghosts, anything like this until
Oh no,
my
Atari's a
my two
very
friends over here went into the lighthouse?
Atari's a very quiet, relatively peaceful place. You know, we stalk adventurers as they head out, but never do we see such dangers on our doorstep. Very rarely do we see such dangers on our doorstep. There was about 3 months ago, we had some kobold issues, but a group of adventurers cleared them out from below our city and saved us. That's about the height of excitement. If I was to be believed, there was an actual dragon beneath our town. But I'm sure just more tall tales. But I am sorry, Nulara, I do not have answers. In fact, not to put you guys on the spot, but I was kind of hoping I could count on you four for answers. Now, you say you were hired, or someone asked you to look into the ruins?
Yes, there was there was a postage asking for adventurers willing to take a look at the Gauntlight because it started glowing.
And who funded such an operation?
The lady at the shop, the wonder shop, the wonderful shop, Rin's Wonders.
Rin. Yes, I should have known. She's a bit of an odd one, isn't she?
You can say that 2 times.
She's a bit of an odd one, isn't she? Oh, you do not like my... Most people laugh at my jokes. Oh. But I'm interested in making a more formal agreement. Look, I'll be frank with you. The people around here are scared. What happened last night, we don't understand it. Now, if there's anyone in this town equipped to make sure that tower does not light up again, it's you four. So, here's my proposal. I put you on the town's payroll. I'll pay you 50 gold each if you can make sure that tower does not light up again. And then I can tell everyone that you're working for me and that they are safe. And that should help ease some of the tension. I'm not sure what
Well,
Rin was paying you, but 50 gold must be something to you guys, right?
Of course, but you have to understand. I mean, we don't know what made the light go bright in the graveyard or from the lighthouse itself. I mean, we've gone there a couple times so far, ran into some fans and worms and stuff like that. But I mean, when the night comes, the light goes on. Or cannot guarantee, say here in the next 3 or 4 hours that the light will not be on, and then what,
Do you really
we aren't able
think,
to
do you really
fulfill
think
your.
it might come back on tonight? He kind of like looks around a little nervous. Like, I made a lot of promises today that this wasn't going to happen again. Do you have any reason to think it will?
I have no reason to think it will, but it was on the last night or the night before last, and it might come on tonight. I don't know. I wasn't up there to look at it.
Fair enough. Well, then I guess maybe I could convince you to get a move on it. I mean, I'm really looking to offer people some sort of hope here.
Of course, and that's why we answered the call all the way from the Obel. I mean, that's a long trek on foot.
It is.
But we, Nulara, our new friends here, Clovis and Mukta, we are doing what we can. Obviously, we did a little bit more, beating the Skelerex, Spider Cracks, that guy,
Spider cracks.
and the zombies. So, of course, we will be doing what we can, but I mean, we want to get there sooner rather than later. But of course, we need to, outfit for the party on Wednesday.
Of course. I'd like to formalize this agreement so that by the time the party rolls around, we can make the big announcement. So if you need time to think about it, I understand.
I think it's a good idea. It gives us a couple days, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yep.
And if there's anything,
So-
any place else I can take you to show you that might sway your interest, and he kind of looked at you, Clovis, let me know.
I will let you know.
All right.
Mukta
we-
been quiet and just kind of trying to get a read on him.
Okay. Yeah, you can do a perception check to see if you can get like a read on his motives.
Let's go, Mukta. I don't like him either.
You can do it.
20, not bad.
Woo!
Oh, yeah. You rolled the secret roll, but I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
I'll show you.
All right.
Yeah, so the 20, he's definitely playing the role of like a politician here, and he is trying, like, there's no sense of like deception here or hiding anything. He really is coming from a place of worry, and he really genuinely seems to be trying to find some way to kind of like placate his town and make sure that they still really ultimately it comes down to this. He wants to make everything about him, and that he brought the heroes to the town, that he saved everyone, and he's the one that hired you. He's putting himself in a position to not only protect the town, but make himself look good at the end of it. Is really what it comes down to.
Makes sense.
Okay.
You don't believe there's anything shady going on with him other than he's a politician and he
He sees an opportunity.
Exactly.
All right, then for me, is there anything that I see that I know I'm not necessarily looking for anything particular that would just jump out at me?
Why don't you give me a perception check as well?
Public or private?
Either one. You can do a private one, and then I'll probably just tell you what it is anyways. Okay.
I guess
So-
I can do it private.
No, you did. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, you did so I think you did a private, so I think you and me can see the results, but nobody else.
Oh, I gotcha.
And then there's another level which is like private to everyone except for me. So I'll go ahead and reveal it to everyone with a 21. So as you kind of do the tour of the Giant's Wheel and keep your eye open and watch all this stuff, I think the thing that jumps out to you the most is this whole operation has like a singular main point of failure, and that would be the wheel itself. And if you were able to find a way to somehow permanently disable or destroy that wheel, it would go a long way into you accomplishing your goals.
All right.
Ooh. What?
Secondly, the other thing that maybe you've learned now that you've seen it up close and personal is the conveyor belt contraption that takes the trees to the edge of the cliff and drops it. It's just like this sort of like a leather cowhide sort of thing stitched together. It would take them a very long time to like if they had to rebuild that from scratch, that would take a long time. So if you were somehow to like cut it and like remove it and steal it without anyone noticing, that would also probably delay them quite a bit.
Perfect.
That's what you pick up on your tour. And everyone else is like, what the hell are they talking about?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so interesting. Very interesting. Mayor, it was a pleasure meeting you, but I don't know about the rest of my companions, but I'm personally hungry, and I'd like to, if it's okay, I'd like to excuse myself.
Oh yeah, of course. Do not let me keep you here.
One last question from me. Do you perhaps have a card that 10% blanket discount, or I can, we're going to need some equipment to make sure that this is taken care of, particularly if we have to find Valcora, and some of the stores in the area. I know they have to make a living, but we want to keep them alive. So perhaps they can, you can put in a word for us. Hey, give this group 10% off anything they want.
It's certainly possible. Maybe when you come back and we can formalize this agreement, I'll be willing to more formally put in a word for you in the right places. You scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Very good.
I just
Can do.
Then in that case, when the time comes, I will see to it.
Okay. So look around awkwardly in formal setting of politicians and say, okay, bye.
Yes.
Yep. So that leaves Al and Nulara, and then I guess the Mukta and Clovis are there like the last two. And he's like looking at you two expectantly, like, what shall we do?
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, all right. Mukta, you and me, buddy.
I got to rest. I took quite a beating earlier today. You understand?
Oh, I definitely understandable. Be safe.
Of course.
Yeah, and then you kind of excuse yourself, and then we fade back to you guys at the Rowdy Rockfish again.
I don't know. I don't like him.
He's a bit of an ass, but look, while you were talking, I tried to get a good read. Part of my job in the caravans, part of security. We have to know who we're trading with. He's a politician, of course, but other than seeing an opportunity to strengthen his own image, he means well, I think.
But how do you guys feel about him parading us?
I mean, that is okay. I think that's a good thing. Perhaps they can know and people know of us and they want to help us because we're going to have them, and maybe it saves some money. You can get that shield or, sooner rather than later. I mean, that worm we fought was a huge, he was big and he crushed your shield. Would be nice to have a stronger shield where it wouldn't crash against you. Perhaps you wouldn't fall down again.
That's true, but at the expense of turning our backs to Rin.
I He can parade us around. I mean, Rin wants to know what is going on. She wants information. She wants some of the things that we bring back.
We still bring her information.
I'm sorry,
Just
what,
give-
Clovis?
So we still give her. We can still bring her information, but we get paid by the mayor.
Like spies.
Yes,
You
like
guys want another
spies.
round of ale? I'll get
The
one.
camera pans across you guys a little bit, like right past, like you're like it expires and it passes past Nulara, just right over Mukta, and hangs on Mukta for just a little too long before panning past.
Ooh.
I just want to make you guys
What the-
paranoid
have
against
you-
each other.
Mopta, you said that you ran security before. Have you ever ran security for really high profile people? Or do you have to kill me before you let that information out?
Well, I usually work with the caravans, making sure that testing their security and their own guards, making sure there's no weak spots. Occasionally, if a important diplomat maybe came through, then I might help escort, but I wouldn't say anybody too important,
And then, like, I kind of stare a little longer at Mokta. Interesting. Is it far? I don't. I'm trying to remember, but I'm assuming where you're from is far from here.
Katapesh, it is. It's across the sea.
Oh, you've traveled far then.
Indeed, I was hired by a friend of mine to, escort one of his caravans along through Katapesh, and also board the ship, make sure that nothing happened once it got to Otari here, and then I told him I'd be taking a little bit of time, I come through Otari every once in a while, but I never stay more than a night, as I usually go back with the caravans. But this time I decided to stay a bit longer, see the sights. It's been quite some sights, I'll tell you what. And he's like rotating his arm and his shoulder.
And an unexpected detour.
Well, I had no plans really. You have to. Living in the sands, you have to shift your path in what's in front of you. So,
Did you have horses in the desert?
of course, I personally did not use them. They're a bit big.
Did you give them names in the desert?
Usually I rode on the horse with no name, so.
I see. Interesting. I'm not much for horseback myself. Of course, it's hard to play when you're trying to hang on.
Of course.
Also, interestingly, what I put it in chat, I don't know if you guys saw it, but if you go to full hit points and then rest for 10 minutes, you lose your wounded condition automatically. So that means by now, Mukta, you wouldn't have wounded anymore.
Ooh.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I
All geared up. It's like, who needs the rest? Let's go fight again.
I never noticed that clause before.
Well, I mean, I need a rest. I would like to be able to play my music and to the nerves of Nulara and Mukta in the same day. I need to relax to be able to do that. But where are you from, Clovis? Mukta shared. You shared.
I am from the forest.
The forest around here?
Yes, just on the other side of Atari. I grew up in a city when I was younger, and you know, didn't like the city life and people, and ended up just venturing out in the forest, and I liked it, and I've lived out there since.
You been to a big city or just a small city like this? Have you been to like Absalom or Diobel? I mean, those places, while they can be dirty in areas, they have just some amazing places. The art and the theater there is quite impressive, if that's what you like.
Yeah, I just got really tired of there's too many bad people in the city I was in. But I have not visited there. Maybe one day I will go look at the arts.
Of course, and I will introduce
love
you
the
to.
forest and the nature is. I'm just one with my nature. I enjoy it.
Perhaps we can go to Diabel one day, and I can introduce you to Caroline. I mean, if everything works out, of course.
Yeah, that sounds. It sounds like that could be fun.
Were you
Is Caroline mighty fine?
of my ale?
She is
were
sweet.
you satisfied with the field trip that we had with the mayor?
Was that a question for Clovis?
Mm-hmm.
All right, my VPN just dropped, so I didn't hear anything. I just went quiet for a minute.
Okay.
That's all right. Were you satisfied with your trip, with our field trip with the mayor?
Yes, I was.
Oh.
I'm happy you guys went with me. It's a very interesting operation.
I just don't like him. He finds the sword. He has this advanced technology. He wants to parade us.
And he has no stories to share. That was weird
Yeah.
for me. I mean,
I know.
Everybody's got the story to share, even if you embellish it a little bit. Not that I would ever do that.
Especially from someone whose ancestors were literally, apparently, the heroes of this town. You'd think they'd have, the secrets, but
Yeah, something not right with that.
And did you see how he looked when we got there the first time? I don't know if you guys saw it too, but it looked like he wanted to say something, but he didn't. So I don't know.
I find those kinds of people always have something to say, regardless if they say it or not.
I mean, he was pretty rude against Ren, so who's to say he's not talking shit about us behind our backs?
I mean, could be. That wouldn't not be good in his favor. I have traveled the lands telling the stories. Sorry, I'm coming of age. My birthday was last week, so my voice to crack a little bit.
Happy birthday.
So, I mean, perhaps, maybe he's going to have, do you wonder, maybe he's doing, and I look around, make sure nobody's paying attention. Maybe he's like, perhaps he's coming with this story, or he has something to do is going on. I mean, is he supposed to be reelected soon? Or maybe it's his, his way to say, look at me, saves the town. I am the best. I hired the best people. And, look at me, vote for me. And then he goes back and tells his, grandmother Belcora that, she's no longer, go back to sleep, whatever. I don't know.
That's a really interesting angle.
So here in the tavern, right? You guys were here the night before. There's not a lot of people, but still some other people hanging out in here. As you're having this conversation, you kind of are realizing you guys are the only patrons even in this place. The rest of this place is like a ghost town. and your voice carries a little more than usual. So Brelda Vankervel, the dwarven barkeep who runs this place, she does kind of confirm your suspicions in a way when she does point out, well, you're not entirely wrong. There is an election next month for mayor.
Interesting. And of course, Hal's being like super over extravagant and, talking with his hands really loud as he gets more excited. I wasn't trying to be quiet. Next month, when was the last time he got elected? Anything weird go on then?
It's a yearly thing. Most people don't bother to run against him because he's kind of, well liked around here. Occasionally, someone might get a bug under their butt and think that they deserve to be mayor or want to be mayor, but most people here are happy with the mayor. The only person who consistently runs against him is the blacksmith. I don't know if you've met him. Carmen Rajani.
The descendant of Zivrani?
Rajani, yeah, Carmen. Yeah. Of those Rajanis, yes.
What?
Oh yeah, but sometimes the apple falls very far from the tree. I must say.
Did he
But he ran the last 4 years in a row against the mayor, and he's tried different strategies each time. It's kind of funny to watch, but no one votes for him.
I give Nulara the side eye. I mean, he has some nice equipment. Maybe we have a conversation with him before we head out tomorrow, before we meet with the mayor. And I mean, that's a slippery slope. I mean, my parents say stay out of politics, but it looks like we're already in it. I'm thinking, if we get on the side of Rajani, he can help outfit our party to get to the bottom of this, but we might lose face with the mayor. Maybe we can postpone it for a week till we have to party.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the party, the ball is definitely on our court because he needs us more than we need him.
Ways that I do get the feel of both of them. Get the lay of the land. Don't commit, maybe, and then
I had no idea he was a Rajani. That changes a lot of things.
Yeah. Not only is he a Rajani, but the real thing now that you're kind of putting these pieces together that becomes very obvious is the blade that the mayor owns and puts on display in the library is the blade that descended from his bloodline.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I take another. I chug my ale.
Yeah, one of the things that Brelda, was it? Brelda, she points out is 2 years ago, Carmen just kind of came out and spent the entire election viciously attacking the mayor about every decision he made, and when he first ran, we thought it was cute. And then the more he kept running and the more vicious he got, the more we realized it was not a great idea. He doesn't come off as a very friendly sort of chap, if you know what I'm saying. So if you guys are thinking about maybe throwing your hat in that ring, just know you got quite an uphill battle ahead of you. That man is, well, there's a reason he doesn't have a position of power here. From what I understand, he owes more money to Yinyas Mara than just about anyone around here. Always racking up debts over at the Crook's Nook.
I'll give Mukta a side eye about Crook's Nook. Maybe you can find
I
something
didn't
out.
mean to interrupt your conversation. Can I get you anything else to eat or drink? As she continues to serve you guys food and drinks for free.
Can I please get another round of ale here?
Yeah. She brings another round of the just okay ale.
Okay, so wow. But talking about the Gauntlight though, and I know we've been pushing it back, but I think maybe we really need to head there at night and see what the heck is behind that thing when the sun is down.
So tomorrow night sounds like, yeah.
Yeah. So that you guys can
Okay.
reset, regain your magic.
Agreed.
I mean, perhaps we head out tomorrow, speak with Rin, find out why the Mary doesn't like, and then speak with this Rajani and find out what he thinks about, the mayor and his sword being in the library, and ask him if he's going to run again, and maybe we can be the person behind the campaign if we choose to go on his side.
Maybe he's just misunderstood because he's drunk all the time.
I mean,
No.
besides the look on his face where he wrinkles his face and it looks like a prune all scrunched up. Grimace. I mean, maybe he's...
Mukta, by the way, should I call you Sir Mukta now since you handled diplomats before?
Holy guard only. No need for formalities.
I feel like you're selling yourself short, but okay.
Yeah, I think this is probably like, unless there's any more pressing things you guys want, we've had a lot of insight into each other, and I think it's probably good time to like kind of spend the night resting and fast forward to the next day.
Sleepy.
Yep. So you guys can go ahead and take your rest, your long-term rest, which recovers all your hit points, all of your spell slots, focus points. That's probably it, right? Because you don't have like alchemy reagents or anything. So, yep. So go ahead and recover all of your resources. This is since this is your daily preparations, this is where you can change if you can, like for instance for Clovis, you can change what spells you have prepared in your 3 slots, as well as any sort of changes to Mushi's attributes as your familiar that you want to choose and change out. This would be when you do it.
All right.
And then was the
Mushi's
plan?
He's just like us, right? He goes back up to his full hit points with the rest.
Yeah. Well, technically, when you take a long rest, you don't go to full hit points automatically, but you guys have more than enough ways to heal yourselves that it's not an issue. Technically, I think you only get your Constitution modifier back when you rest or something like that. It's not much. Let's see. Oops.
Do you know? Leave a comment on the YouTubes.
That's right. If you know exactly how long resting works, they call it long-term rest. Oh, that's actually something different, but yeah.
Says the character regains hit points equal to their Constitution modifier, multiplied by their level.
Oh, okay. So 2 times whatever your con modifier is, that's how much you get back for sleeping, which is not much, considering, healing is so much easier. But there's not too hard to get your hit points back with treat wounds and good berries and soothe or lay on hands. Is that what's called? Lay on hands. So.
So he would go up then.
Yeah. You're just gonna be up before you go back. So as we kind of like go into the next day, is the plan to go at night? I heard you guys talking about going at night, or is the plan to go in the afternoon again, or in the morning? You said you wanted to spend the morning schmoozing people. Or talking to more people?
Yeah, we would like to go talk to Mr. Rajani at the Blades for Glades. Talk to him about his prior mayoral candidacy. That's words.
Perfect. Yeah, so the night goes by uneventfully. It's very quiet, and as you guys are kind of looking out the windows of the shop, the town is always kind of an early to bed, early to rise kind of town. But even more than usual, the whole night, nobody's on the street. Every business has shuttered. Everyone's staying in. People are so worried about what happened the night before. Nobody wants to take the chance to actually be out on the street in case something happens. And it's a little restless as you kind of imagine the spider appearing out of the thin air and attacking you guys in the blue light, and the uncertainty of if this thing is even going to happen again tonight. But the whole night passes uneventfully. You guys get your rest. Nothing attacks, no zombies, no spiders. It turns from Sunday to the next day, which is let's see. The next day is Moon Day. Moon Day. It's a really overcast, slightly drizzly day. And so you wake up the next morning fully rested, fully ready to go. And it is possible for you guys to make your way over to the Blades for Glades, where Carmen Rajani, Vol Rajani's descendant, is working. So you guys go over there.
Walk in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You walk in. He's like, "Huh? You got you back with the 360 gold?"
Almost. We want to talk to you more about your political endeavors, particularly Zimer. He wants to hire us for some reason and parade us about like, what is it? Paper champions, to say these people are going to save us. But we know you come from a true line of champions.
This like tickles his fancy a bit, right? And he kind of like looks at you, and he's like, "What do you mean?" You can tell he knows what you're talking about, but he wants to hear you say it out loud, almost to like make himself feel better.
Are you the descendant of the famous Rajani with the cooperative?
I am. Blade belongs to my bloodline, passed down from generation to generation to my great 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 grandfather before he passed.
What do you feel about Zimer saying that he is lending it to the library?
It's kind of hard to lend something that you don't own in the first place, is the way I look at it. And you can see him like biting his tongue a bit, like he wants to like say more, but he's like restraining himself. He's not sure if he's allowed to say more without, having it come back to bite him in the ass.
So, I mean, we are all new. Please, Nulara, go ahead.
I was just wondering, how did it come to his possession in the first place? They keep saying that they found it. So around 23, 24 years ago, how did your family lose it, Mr. Rajani?
Well, unfortunately, the blade had been lost since Vol, passed away. It was passed from Vol to his child, my great 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 grandfather, who depends on which story you hear. Some say it was stolen, some say it was pawned off. Times were tough. The truth is probably somewhere between the two. He was probably taken advantage of, and with that, my birthright was missing. And like the mayor says, he is the one who financed its retrieval so he could add it to his museum. But
why did you not finance the retrieval?
I don't have the deep pockets that the mayor does. I do my best with this shop, but I don't have his resources.
So you're saying you should sell more of these shields, and you would have the resources, or?
He nods. Yeah. Well, I went to the mayor and I told him that sword is my birthright. I offered to buy it off him. He told me 25 gold and the sword was mine. I came back. I saved up 25 gold, came back. He says, I think the price has gone up. 50 gold. I go back. I save. I come back. Now it's 100 gold. He's just stringing me along. And he never had any intention of selling me that sword.
So is this why you in the last 4 years, you won against him in the mayoral. I can't see the word, Clovis. The election that's supposed to happen. Are you going to do this again next week? Next month?
What's the point? He motions around. You can see a lot of like posters. Some of those like faded posters. The ones on the outside are definitely, faded, but the ones inside aren't as much. You can see like remnants of his older political campaigns. And he just shakes his head and he goes, "Nobody in this town takes me seriously. Like, I've tried everything. I've tried telling the truth. Nobody wants to hear the truth. I've tried being nice. It almost worked, but he still won by, 60% of the vote to 40. I've tried promising change. I've tried it all. I'm done with politics. I'm done with politics, yes."
So was this sword your catalyst to running against the Menhemis?
Listen,
the Mayorman.
He likes to run around here telling everyone that he's descended from the Rose Guard, that he deserves to be in charge, that he has ties to the founding of this town. Well, so do I, damn it. But nobody takes my claim seriously. I thought maybe if I was to, become mayor, I could show people. He like trails off for a second and he like shakes his head. He's like, "Listen, there was 4 years ago, I was in a really bad spot. I had racked up lots of debt. I had drunk myself into a downward spiral, and I was in a very, very bad place. Somebody said the right thing. Somebody told me how ashamed my ancestors would be, and they were right. I thought taking mayor would be a step towards redeeming my past. If only life were so easy." You can give me a perception check too, Mukta, as this whole conversation is going on, as you're trying to get a read on him.
Okay.
So as I'll wait till we get to the end of it, and I'll tell you what you pick up on. Yeah. So, but he basically tells you he has no intention of actually running for mayor. If you want to convince him otherwise, you certainly can. But it looks like he's kind of given up on that goal, at least personally.
So you have no opposition of us being the champions of the mayor?
I mean, not particularly. He's got deep pockets. Make sure he pays you well.
Okay. And but if you were to be a candidate of mayor and we were your champions, I mean, that could go a long way in actually allowing us to get to the bottom of what is going on in the lighthouse.
Let's do another make an impression roll.
Okay.
And I'm going to give a slight, probably like a untyped bonus, because you're hitting on a lot of his like what do you call it?
Okay.
His like trigger points. Like this, you're saying a lot of the right things, but let's see how the roll goes. So you're gonna get a +2 on top of whatever you roll.
Do you want me to use my rings performance or no?
You can. Yeah, in chat they're like, I didn't know Abomination Vaults could be so political, and it's not really designed to be, but it can be. It's kind of interesting. That's the way I like to run it. So you put on a nice thing.
I sent you a blind roll.
Yes.
I didn't see it myself.
You didn't see it, rest. Okay. I'll reveal it.
But if
So
it's shitty, I would
24.
like you. Okay, not bad.
Nice.
yeah, it's good. So you put on this thing, and you kind of like have planted this seed in his mind, and for like, you know, for the first time, like in his head, and he's kind of like, huh. So what you're saying is, if we work out some kind of deal, maybe I can get the town on my side again if you endorsed me.
I mean, perhaps you should sponsor our adventure into the lighthouse. After all, your ancestor was a hero amongst the same. Did he tell you any stories or pass along stories in your family over time about what they faced? Maybe you could help us out. Maybe that's part of the agreement. Like perhaps if you are our sponsor and you provide us some gear, we go down there and, you know, in your name, and we help you, you know, boost you up politically. It's just an idea. You can get that scrunchy face off your face.
So he says, I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. Someone else. But perhaps we can start with a small sponsorship, and then when you publicly endorse me, we can bump that up to the next level and say, I can provide you with the shield you were looking for. Not the high-end shield, but, you know, a good entry-level shield for your friend here, who looks to be quite a tough one. And then, if I actually become mayor, we can maybe get you that prize you had your eye on. My finest work. The 360 gold shield. What do you have in mind? How do you see this going? People don't like me here. I'll tell you right up. People don't like me here.
Well, I mean, perhaps you should be a little more friendly and enjoys yourself and not.
I tried that. It didn't work.
You said it almost worked, right? Perhaps you tried it a little bit harder and be a little bit more friendly and help out a little bit more. That they will, you know. You said you owe a lot of money and in a bad place. Okay, so good enough. Everybody rises up over time. Perhaps that can be you. But I mean, why are you so bitter? Maybe you should take a what is the word? Less flagons of ale and more smiles on the face.
Why am I so bitter? My birthright sits on display, graciously donated by the man who stole it from my family. That's why I'm bitter. Sorry, I'm prone to outbursts. I did not mean to take out that aggression on you. It's not your fault.
You're okay.
Or maybe instead of this like niceness angle, maybe we could like some kind of like amazing sabotage. Like maybe you can tell people that the mayor is the one behind the Gauntlight coming to life, and he's using it to attack the town, and we can plant some evidence and sort of get the town to turn against him, and then put me up on the throne, and then we can, you know, air quote, solve the problem.
I'm not so sure the mayor has a throne, but I understand what you mean. But I mean, do you have any reason to believe he is behind the attacks? Other than your ambition?
No. That goody two shoes? I doubt it.
So, in the last years that you campaigned against him, did you feel like you had, you know, did he come up with magical and amazing ways to win the people over? Like, you know, this time it is us taking back the town and beating back the undead, and we are his champions. Were there any things like this over 3 or 4 years you ran against him?
Not particularly.
No?
I'm not very good at this politics stuff. My you know, my plan has been very much the anti-mayor, if that makes sense.
No. But okay.
As my new political strategist, I'm sure you guys will come up with an awesome political campaign.
I mean, we have only a month, and we have to spend most of our days and nights at the lighthouse. So, I mean, we have a couple more stops before we head out, but it was great seeing you again. Smile when I say that. And we will see you soon.
One idea, just spitballing. Maybe when you get up at the mayor's feast for you and he presents you to everyone, that could be the moment that you tell everyone that you endorse me for mayor, right? Eyes on you, get people talking. That's the way to do it, right? And if you do that, the shield is hers, and he points at the 100 gold shield.
Well, we haven't, agreed to either one. I get the weird feeling from the mayor, like he comes up with some amazing stories that happen, and just before he's supposed to be elected. But you said it hasn't happened, so maybe that theory is out. But he's a quite lovely family, those that we met. But we haven't agreed to what he's going to do, so I doubt he's going to announce us as the champion. If he does, well, that'll be awkward, no?
Exactly. And good for us.
Well, we're going to head out. We have a couple more stops.
Sure. Just, you got me excited. I haven't been this excited in a while.
I can tell you like...
I like this. I like having burning... like
smiling.
Yeah, like a goal,
You are sweating a little bit.
Yeah. So, you can easily, extract yourself from this situation, Hal and everyone. But you've at least put your irons in the fire, so to speak, with this side. So I will say, Mukta, as you watch all this unfold, and, you've been trying to get a read on him and the whole situation, when he speaks about the blade, he gets very, very extra passionate, specifically targeting that blade, right? And you read some of his body language, and the way he twitched and the way his eyes narrows just a bit, and I think what you pick up, surprisingly, out of all of that is he didn't have any political aspirations. He had he was living completely in a daze, almost like not focusing on any plan, right? He was just existing, and you guys have given him some hope of existing. But more than that, his body language is something you've seen dozens of times in your life, and that is the body language of somebody who sees something and knows that they need it by any means necessary, even non-legal means. And the way he talks about that blade, you get the impression he might have plans for that blade. If that makes sense.
Some Game of Thrones shit.
Yep.
So the blacksmith, what's Rajani?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Carmen. His first name is Carmen, and his last name is Rajani. And if you open the Blades for Glades store, you can see his picture in the store. That's what he looks like.
Taking notes.
Yep.
Hardcore, man.
Yep. So I think the camera kind of pulls out. Sorry, what was that?
I was just gonna tell the group. I don't know. To be honest, the way his eyes looked when he talked about that blade and talking about planting evidence,
I know.
It didn't quite sit right with me. Look, I'm all for alternative means, but against the right people who deserve it, of course.
Perhaps you could use those alternative means to learn something more about him. I mean, I can ask around, but my charm only gets me so far, of course.
Of course.
So is there anything else you guys want to accomplish in the next few minutes, roleplay wise, before we kind of go back to the Gauntlet? Which
So
would be
we were
next
gonna
session.
talk to Rin. And
Oh, you wanna
ask
go by
her
Rin?
about, talk to
Well,
her about
it
the
is
mayor.
early, and Rin is not an early riser. So again, you show up to Rin's,
Yep.
and then like the really sleepy Eleanor's like, "Ugh, she's sleeping. You want me to wake her up?
Well, I thought we were going to wait part of the day
Right,
and then
you could
head
come
out
back.
so we can.
She
I
wakes
like
up
to-
around noon, right? Like you came around yesterday
Yeah.
around noon, and she was awake. So if you come back in noon, we will. So you show up, and then you're like, okay, we'll wait, and then you stand and look at your watch, and the whole like sun goes over you, and you
Yep.
know you come back around noon, and then Rin is awake at that point. Yeah. So again, usual ritual, calls you in, puts some tea on. Have you got more interesting trinkets for me and stories to go with them?
It's the only story we have is Zimer wants to hire us as champions and tell the whole town that we're working for him in the Gauntlight. What is your opinion of Zimer? He called you weird.
Yeah, that's fair assessment of me, I guess. I mean, do you disagree?
I mean, I don't know you that well. I mean, you sleep in kind of late, like me. These guys get me up early for whatever reason. I used to like sleep until the sun is long past high in the sky. But I don't think that's weird. Do you?
I mean, I haven't been here. I've only been in Otari for just about 6-7 months now. I don't really have an opinion of the mayor, honestly. Like, he doesn't interest me. I'm not interested in the politics. I'm not interested in the lumber of the town.
So
I don't know. I
do you
don't
have
think
an
of that
opinion
very
of?
much.
Do you have an opinion of us being the champions of the mayor and going to save the city from the Gauntlet, or does that not really bother you and you want to stuff that we bring?
Oh, no. I don't. Listen, I only manipulated the threads of fate to bring you together. I don't intend to claim ownership over what happens next. If this is what feels right, then it's probably what's meant to be.
And what is your opinion of Carmen Rajani, descendant of Vol Rajani?
He's got a bit of a mouth on him, a bit of a temper, of course, but it does seem wrong the way that the town kind of looks down on him. I never quite understood it. Like, yeah, he's not the nicest to talk to, but
He said he used to drink a lot and he got into some trouble and was in a bad way. I don't know what that means.
yeah, but
I was running around in the streets 4 years ago.
This town worships its founders. It's like they've idolized them. They've made them into legends. They've built literal museums dedicated to their history. So why is it nobody in this town seems to care about this Carmen? Unless he was that terrible. I don't know. I feel bad for the guy. But I don't think I would trust him, if that makes sense. He's going to be the kind of guy that looks out for himself before anyone else. Same goes with basically everyone in this town. Except for you guys, of course. Oh, and you, Eleanor, and reaches back and pats Eleanor's shoulder.
I wonder why he's in such bad ways with the people. I mean, but besides being a complete ass. I mean, if you ask me.
I mean, is that enough?
Probably.
I mean,
Most likely.
You look at the mayor, right? The mayor descends from the Rose Guard, and the mayor uses his family name to help the town, give them jobs, give them money, keep things flowing. His family is the one that built the Giant's Wheel. They're the ones that brought prosperity to what before was a very unprosperous area. Yes, this was founded by the Rose Guard 400 years ago, but it failed. For hundreds of years, it was nothing more than a shrine. And when that Giant's Well was built and his family brought the town from the brink of prosperity, like, sure, people are gonna follow a man like that. Carmen, I get the feeling he's the kind of guy that would take that coin and spend it on himself, so to speak. I don't know. Maybe I'm too hard on the guy.
Okay. Perhaps. We'll just have to find out a little bit more about him, and I give Mukta a little side look. But we hope we didn't wake you too early. I know it's a bit early for me. We'll bid you good day. We're going to head out this afternoon to the Gauntlight, and hopefully be there when the sun goes down and see what happens. Maybe just for a few minutes like last time, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up that sort of conversation with her, unless somebody else has something they want to, like, ask Rin. This would be a good chance. Doesn't sound like it.
Have a good nap, Rin.
Sure. Well, Rin just woke up, so she's not taking a nap, but she's waking up.
Have a good nap again, Rin.
Yeah. So I think, the camera kind of pulls out as you guys get ready to head out towards the Gauntlet to do more exploration, and the camera kind of like comes up over the top of Otari, over the swamp, and the camera like heads in towards like the ruins, and we see like in the sort of like entryway, Boss Scrag, who is in his throne room, right? He's got his little mud throne. He looks like disheveled. He looks worn for wear. His face looks like a downbeat, broken man, or, Mitflit. And you can see him like talking, and it looks like he's maybe talking to himself, but the camera pans over a little bit, and you can see he's built a couple of like Mitflit effigies, like little like stuffed straw dolls out of like mud with like fake eyes like carved in.
Oh
and
God.
You can see him like ordering these like mud dolls like around to do stuff for him, and of course they like just sit there not moving, and like a little bit of mud like falls out the face to the ground like splat, and you feel like a little sad for this guy in like for a minute. And then there's like you hear like the door like open, like, and like his door opens, and he looks up, and you can't see what's off screen, but like the shadow kind of like goes over his face, and he kind of looks up and like squints his eyes at it a little bit, and there's like this look of like horror for just a second, and then it cuts black, and that's where we end tonight's episode.
What is it?
Woo!
What?
Right?
No way.
Right.
Did we finally see a ghost?
Well, you didn't see anything because it was off screen, right? All you saw was
Mhm.
the shadow over his face.
Oh no, he's gonna die. After he started mourning for like his people.
So
I mean, he's gonna get he's got a trident named.
That's true.
yeah,
Trident.
he's got a legacy coming. You can embellish his stories, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's gonna die.
What happened to Boss? I guess we'll have to find out on episode 10 of the Abomination Vaults, right? Next week. So I gotta say up front, when I was, prepping for this session, what I didn't expect you guys to do was to go back and spend 3 hours role playing in town. That was a fun surprise for me. So for all the GMs out there, it pays to do do some prep with all of your town. So like if you need to like dip into some of that stuff so you can keep the session going.
You kept giving us like little breadcrumbs, and we kept following them.
And you kept
Going
following
and
them. You
going
guys
and
really
going.
did.
well. Of course. I got like
Absolutely.
lots of breadcrumbs lined up that I can like pull from a pouch and sprinkle when needed, right? You guys just depleted a lot of my breadcrumbs. But it's good because I wanted you guys to get all this information. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon, I guess, so to speak. So it was fun.
No, the biggest plot twist for me was like Carmen being a Rajani.
Uh-huh. I was gonna call
Right.
it out because I kept saying the last
Like,
name and
whoa.
waiting for you guys to do it, and But I was actually going to call for like a roll straight up, and I thought, nah, I'll just let it play out organically. And then it did. So that was cool. But yeah, it's like this whole political intrigue. And like some people in chat are also saying like, oh, I didn't know like Abomination Vaults could be so like political. And like it can be. You can like lean into that side, or like you could run this and never do any of that, right? It could just be like, whatever, it's just the town you buy stuff from. But if you guys start like nibbling on those breadcrumbs, then I'll definitely allow you to keep, nibbling away.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was like,
Yep.
this mayor, I'm a jerk, pompous.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, a hero's descendant, and it's like, what?
Yeah. They're both descended from like the founders of the town. It's crazy.
What's funny about the mayor is that he's talking shit about the cleric at the library when his ancestor
Grandma,
was the
yeah.
cleric of
Yeah.
the group.
Yep, she was the cleric of the Rose Guard.
Yeah.
Local politician.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't have that like adventuring sort of bone in his body, Like he's very much a businessman and a politician. He's good at what he does though. He's just, It's funny that he gets the praise for being descended when he's like the least like his descendant possible, right? It's funny. But maybe you guys can change that and make Carmen the new mayor. I was just waiting for you guys to say Hal's going to be the new mayor.
Do we
No.
even
Well, we haven't got there yet. Don't give it away, Steve.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's your
yeah,
plan?
yeah. I was
Wow.
thinking about it too.
Interesting. Okay.
No, it's interesting too. Mukta might be a spy. Clovis is.
Yeah, what is Clovis?
Right? What is he?
Yeah. I didn't want to like go overtly, and you asked me, right? I wasn't going to bring it up in front of everyone, and then you were like, so what do I see? And I'm like, all right, well, let's go. Let's give them some.
I had to. I'm like sitting there. I was gonna leave, and I'm like, I gotta ask this question.
Yeah. I like that you brought up. I didn't know how like close to the chest you were going to hold that information, and it's cool because the characters don't really seem to know, but like the
Yeah, they
players
still don't
definitely
really know. So
Not at all. Not at
Right.
all.
The
We
players
just
are
knew
like,
that he wanted like a field trip.
yeah, you're wondering like, why does he want to go to the freaking mill?
right.
Yeah, we just
And
said we
then-
don't like him.
Yeah. Now he had ulterior motive.
Interesting.
Well-
So interesting.
Yep. Well, that's going to do it for us this week on Abomination Vaults. Thank you to Nina, Richard, Mike, and Rick for playing with me. It's been a pleasure as always. I look forward to our
Thank
Wednesday
you.
night
Thank you,
games.
Steve.
Thank
Yep,
you.
thank you. Well,
Yeah.
Can't wait
And-
till next Wednesday.
Yep. Now you got to wait. And a big thank you to our viewers, all of you who are watching us live, like, biologists and Heisenberg sitting in chat. I see you guys week after week, and, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Those of you
Yeah,
so good.
I want to call out, really appreciate NVNG dropping with a raid and 15 followers and everybody interacting in chat this week on my channel as I do the player POV of our adventure while Steve
Yeah.
does the DM POV.
Right. It's a good tag team. That was a really awesome raid. Also, anyone who we can't see your name because you're watching us on YouTube with our, 100 plus subscribers and the hundreds of views we get on our videos each week, we appreciate you guys too. Remember, make the comments on there. Let us know. I wonder if we won't get comments about our rules this week because we didn't do a lot of rules, right? It was a lot of
Oh, we really did. It was
Roleplay.
all role play.
I'm sure we messed something up. So if somebody's gonna be like,
I'm sure.
"Mm,
Right. I'm
mm,
sure.
you should not be in a make an impression role. It should be a
Yeah.
like a
Diplomacy.
coerce or like a what do you call it, a make a request role.
Oh, we
So-
focused on the story and we learned a lot.
You did.
Yeah.
You guys learned a lot of story
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. Next week we're starting off with a bang.
I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
Strack's gonna die. Oh,
Maybe.
no.
Yep. So we make sure also we're too short here on our Twitch subscribers. I can't get my finger to point it the right way here. Like this. There we go. Off our 50 goal. So that'll be really cool. That allows us when we get to 50 and we can kind of start getting on that next level on Twitch, we can do a lot of cool things like chat badges for you guys like for following us and stuff. That'll be really cool. But for now, we're waiting to see who our Taylor NPC is going to be. So once we reach 50, we'll make a drawing and we'll contact you and you can tell us who that NPC is going to be. Otherwise, we'll be back next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time as our group continues to see what awaits them around the corner in the Abomination Vaults. Until then, stay safe, Stay healthy. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks, Steve. Good night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.